like a 2 or 3 time ADCC trials champion in the second round of Master Worlds. And you're like, people would be like, oh, Masters World sucks. And you're like, there's this guy is like a 3-time ADCC veteran. And like, it's just because you get a little bit older doesn't mean you suck at jiu-jitsu.
No, exactly.
It just means you're older.
You're just a bit older. You might be a bit slower, or your body breaks a bit more than most. But
cardio maybe not as good as everyone else's.
Hey, my cardio was fine, man. I just don't try that hard.
It is mad. How did Chewy get on, dude?
He lost to the guy.
He's done well before, though, hasn't he, at Masters?
Yeah, he won it once, and then he got 3rd place this year because he lost to that guy. They had a really, really close match. I think Chewy was actually winning by an advantage with like 30 seconds left, and the guy shotgun armbarred him.
Oh, no way.
You know, like from open guard, like he just like threw up a shotgun arm.
It up.
So you can find it on YouTube. It was hilarious. Like even Chewy would think it's hilarious because Chewy was winning the match. And he was doing a really good job because the guy was like a really good leg locker. And Chewy was doing a good job staying on the outside. Chewy's very hard to leg lock. And so he was staying on the outside. And then he'll say it better than me, but I think he was passing. He posted on the guy's hip, like doing like.
Is it one of those inside ones? Like when you put what we were talking about earlier. Frank does it all the fucking time, mate.
Yeah. And so it looked like Chewy was doing the right thing. Like I was like, oh, you know, he's posting on the hip, posting on the knee. You know, we all learned that same pass.
Yeah.
And as soon as he did, like he went to like go past, the guy went. Like,
that's it. And if you throw your like leg onto their shoulder, it's fucking horrible.
JT did that. JT Torres did that to me once, and I was like,
it clicks, mate. It's horrible. It's like,
I was like, it was like one of those. And I was like, shotgun armbars might be even scarier than heel hooks because it's like you really just don't see it coming.
Do you know, I hate it when like I overextend my elbow. It's like my worst.
I fucking hate
if it goes, I'm like, oh fuck it.
Mate, even if I extend my elbow, it hurts.
Yeah, you can't extend your elbow.
I can't even straighten my arm anymore.
Can't even move, mate.
So I'm basically like a living representation of what will happen if you keep getting armbarred. So
that's why I tapped so fast. Yeah, right? Everyone was like, oh, I tapped when I had the match with Pinna. You can see in the match as soon as my arm goes, I'm like tap. Because people
know
like,
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, they're like, I left there with my elbow feeling fine because people are like, oh, you know, why don't you try the turning escape? And I'm like, bro, because it's not worth it. Like I was losing the match 12-0 or 12-2. Anyways, I'm like, I'm not gonna win this match. Like if he has me here,
And Penna has your arm. It's not like some random fucking purple belt at the gym has your arm where you might be able to. You've got Penna on the end of your arm who's going to rip it off.
He's not giving an inch.
He's not giving you anything, is he? He's going to rip it off.
Yeah, it's like I 100%. There was no possible scenario where I was going to get out of that armbar. So I knew as soon as I was like, tap.
But mate, in street rules though, you basically won that fight.
Yeah, you know, on the streets.
That's it. He came away hurt, mate. He's got that hernia.
On the streets.
He's got the hernia.
Yeah. You know what's bad is after that match, I stepped off the mat and I sat down on the side, like the sidelines to like just like breathe because adrenaline? Yeah. I had like a bit of an adrenaline dump. And as I tried to stand up, my whole body just like spazzed out. So like, I was just stuck on the ground for like 30 minutes. Because when I did the slam, I messed my own back up. I didn't like get like a herniated disc or anything. It just kind of like spazzed out, which maybe that does mean who knows?
You shouldn't ever admit this, mate. You should be like, no, I'm fine.
No, I'm fine. I just couldn't move. I tried to get up and I was just like, and Chewy was like, hey, are you good? Like, let's go to the back. And I was like, I can't move. I was like, I can't move. But worth it. It was worth it. Mm. But now I have nothing. Like, so I think it was just like, I wonder what it was, to be honest. Because like I don't have any like back problems or anything from it. So it was just in that moment for like 30 minutes. Like I was just my back and hips just seized up.
Mate, I think sometimes if it just gets close, it's enough for your body just to react and protect whatever the compromised structure is, and it just spasms and it can be like that, mate.
I'm trying not to slam my way out of submissions anymore because it really scared me. I was like, it's a cool video though. Like now I'm like, oh, it's a cool video, but. It seemed like it could have done more damage to me than necessary. So
yeah, I think it just hurt each other, really, isn't it? One of you's going to end up hurting you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's all good though, mate. But welcome to the studio, mate.
I know, finally.
I know, third time's the charm. Got you across the pond finally, mate.
I know, I love it. I'm staying. I wish I could simultaneously live in London and in Montreal. It'd be good. Can't afford that though.
Yeah.
One day.
Mate, even just living in London without simultaneously living anywhere else, it's hard to afford. So
Yeah, it's true.
Fucking expensive.
That's also why I can't live in London, is because I couldn't afford it. You got to open up a gi school.
But anywhere else in the UK, you probably could do, mate. And then you just travel into London. London's like an economy in itself, mate. It's not even a true reflection of the UK.
Really?
Yeah, but UK is rubbish, mate. It's like,
No way.
it is.
See, the problem is you guys here in the UK, you have this bad attitude towards yourselves. You need to get some of that American patriotism.
Mate, no.
You gotta get-
The UK is shot. It is gone.
No.
We're not getting into political, but it is gone.
It was funny though, on the drive over, we were talking because he was saying how much he likes the British people, and I was saying how much we like the American people. But I think because he's around like-minded people in the jiu-jitsu community, he's got a very small little bubble. If you actually met normal British people, they'd fucking depress you, mate.
Yeah, but I just think it's just, you're right. You're right, yeah. They just fucking hate everyone, mate.
But you know, I'm like a natural introvert too. So it's like if I get to know you, it's great. But I actually really like big cities because everyone's pretty introverted in big cities. Funny enough, that's why I like Montreal. It's because I think 2 million people in the city. And so like no one talks to each other, no one says anything to each other. But like in Kentucky, dude, I love where I'm from. I love Kentucky, but man, you can't walk 2 feet away with someone saying, "Hey, honey, how are you?" And I'm like, dude, I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? And like I said, I'm a real natural introvert, so I'm like, when I was in Kentucky, I'd just be like, man, I don't hear you. I don't see you. I love big cities. Maybe that's why I like London so much, because like everyone, it's big, but it's like, I don't know. It's like you have a lot of toys and it's just you. I don't know. That's what I think about when I go to big cities, because most people don't talk to you besides homeless people.
In London, everyone's always trying to get somewhere. So they just don't even stop to say hello. They're just like...
And then a third of people are out to rob you. So that's the other problem.
The funny thing is, he was too scared to get on a tube in London, so walked everywhere instead. Which
did you? You didn't go on a tube?
No,
I don't blame you, but
I think Stuart Cooper put him off.
Did you watch that clip?
Yeah,
that was brutal.
Well, it was Stuart Cooper, and then it was just like I had a lot of friends saying, "Hey, be careful! Like, don't get stabbed. Like, if you go to London, you're gonna get stabbed. If you get on the metro, which in Montreal it's called the metro, but you guys call it the tube here. It's the same
thing. Yeah,
same thing, right? And I was just like." I'm with my girlfriend. I just bought a new camera. I was like, I don't want to get my camera stolen. I don't want to get...
it feels similar to like going on the tube in New York. You know what I mean? You know, where you just feel like there's one crazy person or there's like someone ready to stab you.
I think you're more likely to get some little fucking inner city boy whizzing past on an e-scooter and snatch it from you, mate. Up on the streets. And
That's what they're doing now. That's like e-scooters everywhere, bang, nicking phones.
But you got that wrestler's grip though, mate. So.
Yeah, they have a hard time.
You just like running down the road, chasing them down.
Yeah, maybe I should. I really, if I want the real London experience, maybe next time I should hop on a tube, see what it's about. Maybe bring a knife with me and see if I can get into some old night wars with a fellow Englishman. Have a proper duel.
You want a duel?
Yeah, a little joust.
It's not knife crime, it's tradition, boys.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's funny. I don't know. I love London. I mean, obviously it's so huge, so it's hard to say I love London, but I loved my experience.
London's got some amazing things in it.
It's cool.
It has got some amazing
lots
things.
of freaking food.
Oh, mate, loads of food.
There's no English food.
We don't have English food, mate. We've been overrun, and it's every other culture other than ours.
It's great, but it's like, nice. It's nice because even in America, we don't really have that much food, right? We have like barbecue, we have like chicken wings and burgers.
Yeah, but how good are your burgers?
Fuck, dude, they're so good.
Have you had fish and chips yet in the UK?
No, just...
Have you not? We should have got that instead.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Well, you wanted a burger. So
I missed America a little bit. A little bit. But the beef's not the same here, right? Like, so it's like in America, like any burger you're gonna get, it's gonna be like this big. It's gonna be juicy, greasy. It's gonna make you want to throw up after.
I looked at Zephyr Burger actually, but they weren't open this time of day.
Zephyr is the closest thing you'll get to in America. They're very good. Yeah. They're good burgers.
Yeah, Smash Burger is really popular in Canada. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that, but they seem popular in Texas because they're fucking everywhere.
I think comes from Canada.
Okay.
I think maybe Toronto, but obviously viewers can correct me, but I'm pretty sure when you're in a different country, people love to say something is from their country. So Canadians,
Say smash burger.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. So if I get fact checked and it's from Texas, then I'm sorry.
All right, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
So you're obviously here because you're on your European tour. So tell us about that experience so far. So you started in Portugal?
Yeah, so I was going to do a seminar in Portugal, but I ended up not doing it because some things didn't work out logistically. Last minute, there were some changes, and I was like, oh, okay, like whatever, like maybe next time. So instead, I went and trained at like a really fun gym. It was a Gracie Barra. I had never been to a Gracie Barra because I'd always heard bad things about it. Like, you know, like the traditional.
Did you have to buy a gi?
No.
There's lies. There's all lies.
No.
Have you got a gi now, though? You got a crazy
Dude,
bar.
I have so many gis. So LXB always sends me a ton of gis. So I have like, if you go to my house in my closet, I have like a stack of like 50 gis.
No way.
So once a year, I have a tradition. In Montreal, one of my friends comes to Montreal from Halifax, which is northeast Canada. He flies down to Montreal and he teaches a gi seminar. So once a year, I always go to his gi seminar because he's my homie. So I always have a brand new fresh gi for his gi seminars. His name's Graham, so shout out to Graham. But yeah, other than that, it was when I went to Gracie Barra, it was completely NoGi. It was super cool because the guy who was teaching didn't speak English, but he was such a sweet guy. And he was doing his best to like teach me, and he did a really amazing job. He taught like kind of a different way of hitting triangles from closed guard that I kind of had never seen. It was very basic and it was similar to something that I had seen, but it was like, you know, 1 foot position a little bit different. And I really, really liked it. And it's cool because he spoke no English. All he said was like, thank you. And os, and I was like,
the universal jiu-jitsu language.
Yeah, and they were so sweet, man. I love the Portuguese people, man.
Portugal's amazing.
They're so sweet, man. The food was really good. My only problem in Portugal was the freaking hills, man. In Lisbon, one of the best cities in the world, but the hills. I don't know if you've ever been.
I've been a few times, but I've been 3 or 4.
Fuck, dude. I was not mentally prepared for the amount of hills in Lisbon, man. But, man, to be honest, no complaints about Lisbon. And then we went to, we went to France. We went to Paris. Very beautiful. It took a lot of pictures. But, like I said, I find that, like, going to Paris once, I was like, okay, I don't really have to go back to Paris again. I don't speak French. It's different, right? I found like in Portugal, it was a lot more English than in France, which is wild because you would assume, right? Like it's Portuguese. But it was cool. Maybe I need to learn French. It was a very, very beautiful place. I did a seminar in Nancy, France, which is the northeast of France, I think they were telling me. It was really cool. It was interesting because it was unique because lots of people weren't really, really great at English. So I was teaching takedowns. Had a great turnout. I think there were like 41, 42 students who came. I was teaching takedowns. Seemed like people were getting good at it. But it was my first time teaching a seminar and just being like, I felt bad because I was like, I'm not sure how much of this you're getting. But it seemed like people were doing duck unders really well by the end of it. So I think visual learning is real. I don't think maybe the words matter as much. So that was super cool. Food in France was pretty good. And then London so far. So yeah, Portugal, France, London. London has just been my favorite by far. I taught 2 seminars, one at Pure Jiu-Jitsu and then one at Los Bandidos. And really cool people, very funny. Man, this is why I love London, is the people at the jiu-jitsu gyms are so funny. They're so much funnier than any other country I've ever been to. I love it. Because I kind of think it's cringy when people are like really like serious all the time. And maybe that's bad, but
No, it's not.
For me, it's just like, I love it because like, you know, you can, I feel like you can try to be good and still, like, you know, shoot the shit. What do you guys call it? Taking the piss. Is that what you guys call it? Piss, yeah. Taking the piss. We call it shooting the shit where I'm from. So
shooting the shit.
Yeah, shooting the shit. Yeah. But I love London because at least in the jiu-jitsu community, right? Most people in my experience are so good at just shooting the shit, having fun, but also being serious enough to learn. And it was super cool because I felt very nervous teaching at Los Bandidos because there were so many guys there that were better than me.
Yeah, there was some talent on that mat.
Yeah, much better than me. Like probably at least 10 guys that were just, maybe more, that were just better. Like there's just, these guys are truly just better than me. So I felt very nervous teaching because I found I get a bit of imposter syndrome when I teach. And then it's even worse when I know there's really good guys in the gym. Like I'm like, oh, fuck this. Owen O'Flanagan's right there. Fucking Ferris is right there. Like this guy's right here. This guy, da 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 da. Or like one time I taught a seminar in Kentucky and I was with one of my really good friends, Evan. He was a really good D2 wrestler. He was a D2 All-American. I was teaching technique and I was like, fuck, I hope I don't fuck this up in front of Evan, like my friend, you know, and then I don't know why it's like this weird
That's what we was talking about earlier though, wasn't it? With that like shoulder crunch. It's like it's the same sort of thing. It's like
too much respect, maybe.
It's respect, I don't know.
Yeah.
You worry about it, you like don't want to make a bad impression or you want to do it right and you just overthink it. Yeah. And you really, you know, you're good at what you do.
What you're good at.
Yeah, you're good at what you're good at. So.
Yeah, for sure. So I got over it pretty quickly because the guys were so amazing. Like I said, I hung out with Owen Jones quite a bit, Owen O'Flanagan, Ferris, and then a couple of other guys. I mean, I could name literally 10 guys, right? But it was super cool. Those guys were so amazing. It was funny because I'd been shooting the shit with Owen O'Flanagan forever. Like we would just be texting online on Instagram, just, you know, talking shit, just being friends because we're very similar personalities. And then me and Ferris had been talking for a little bit since IBJJF NoGi Worlds. And then Ferris was like, hey, like, do you want to do a seminar? And I was like, bro, this is crazy. And so I was like, oh, the dream come true because I've always wanted to come to London. Just like every American, I watched Harry Potter and I was like, this place is going to be so magical. It's like an American dream. Go to London.
I was supposed to go Harry Potter land, mate.
We didn't have enough time. Look, I'm doing that next time. Don't worry. I'm still like a true London tourist, right? Hiding from the roadmen, hanging out with the Harry Potter people, you know? But, yeah, it was Los Bandidos was super cool to teach at just because for me, it was super cool because you had all these guys that were much better than me at jiu-jitsu that were just super open-minded about learning from me. And I was like, oh man, I felt very humbled. I was like, I'm just so grateful and it felt so amazing. And the same thing at Pure Jiu-Jitsu, the head coach, I believe his name's Arya. I could have pronounced it wrong. Sorry if I did. This is the shirt I'm wearing, but he was so good. He kicked my butt. Like he's a really good black belt. He had really good deep half guard. So we did a lot of deep half guard situations because I never really worked there because, you know, new age jiu-jitsu guys don't do deep halves quite as much. But I find like when these guys put me in deep half, it's where I struggle the most, right? Because, you know,
it's a weird position, isn't it?
It's very
to work
weird.
Out of.
Yeah, because it's like if you go left too hard, they do this. You go right too hard, they do this. So he helped me out a lot and taught me some new things from deep half. And now I feel way more comfortable escaping it. And rolling with his students was amazing. It was super cool at Pure, man. There were so many giants. Like, I was getting into like a bad habit of teaching seminars on my girlfriend because I was getting scared of like spazzy like ukes. But now like I was like, okay, when I come to Europe, I'm going to use someone else, not my girlfriend. So now what I've been doing is picking one random big guy. So even like tomorrow when I teach, I'm just going to be like, whoever the biggest guy is, I'm going to be like, come here.
Yeah, get Mark Adams out.
Yeah.
He's the judoka guy that I mentioned earlier.
And the reason I'm doing that is because it's like I want to show my techniques on big guys. Yeah. Because I'm a big guy. So it's like it makes more sense than showing it on my freaking small 120-pound girlfriend, right? But I was doing that for a while because when I would go to seminars and try to pick someone, people would be so stiff. Like they'd be like, not necessarily spazzy, but like, you know, you touch them or you know, you're trying to pull their back leg forward and they're just like, and you're just like, oh, fuck, okay, man, I can't. But I realized I needed to take ownership and just be like, hey, you're not being a good partner, man. I'm gonna get a new one. Come here. So this trip has been me getting out of my comfort zone and trying to find big boy UKs. Because then it looks better for me too. It's like, I'm like, here's technique on
Mark will be a good one because he's like a gentle giant, mate. He's like super good reaction. He'll
and he can break fall real nice, so it sounds like
very sound break falls. He loves being double legged. I love rolling with judo guys. Yesterday at Pure Jiu-Jitsu, I was rolling with this young kid. I forget his name. But we were rolling and he was like, all right, is it cool if we go hard? I was like, yeah, bro, let's kill each other. Like, whatever. I don't care. I was warm at this point. I always tell people at the end of seminars, like right before we do rolling, I'm like, all right, guys, this isn't NoGi Worlds. This isn't ADCC, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, let's keep each other safe. Like, no flying submission or whatever. And so sometimes people get really fragile when they roll with me, but I'm like, no. That's not what I mean. I'm saying like, you can still try to beat me up. I'm just like, don't freaking jump on my knee, bro. Like, it's hard because I had gotten injured at a seminar because I didn't say anything. And so now at the end of seminars, I always say something, but I also want to be like, yo, you can try to beat me up, bro. Like, it's okay. Just don't hurt me, you know? But anyways, I was rolling with this kid, man. We shook hands, blah, 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 blah. I shoot a double leg. He stuffs it. I stand up and he foot sweeps me and I just go, and I was like, damn, fuck. He got my ass. But I love it, bro. I thought it was super fun. And then we just continued to scrap. But he had I think at that gym at Pure, they do a lot of judo. Like, I think in London, there's more judo than there is in the US. Like, in particular in London, I guess, maybe there's lots of French people, or someone was telling me something about, for some reason, there's lots of judo in this area, or people who used to be really good at judo. So at jiu-jitsu gyms, I met a lot of judo guys, same at Los Bandidos. And I was like, man, dude, one of the funnest things about rolling with judo guys is like, they're just going to foot sweep you and then they're just going to stare at you. And that's what happened. And I was like, all right, I'm back up. I'm back. It's not like you're wrestling where it's like when they take you down, they're like immediately attacking you, like pinning you or trying to pass you. But it was quite embarrassing, but also quite funny. And so yeah, those are my two London seminars. And now I'm coming down here to Flow. We're not in London anymore. We're in Plymouth. Mm-hmm. Is it Plymouth or Plymouth? Plymouth.
You can call it Plymouth, mate.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you never know because our Englishes are so different. Like the way we say things are extremely different. What were they making fun of us? Like our A's. Like when we use the A, like the letter A, you guys are like, or A.
So you have like Birmingham in America and it's Birmingham.
Yeah, but maybe we got fucked up spellings. Like, what does that say?
This?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that say? Leicester.
It's Leicester.
Leicester.
Whoa. Mind you, I got a 16 on my ACT, so that's not very good. So the ACT is, at least in Kentucky, it's the national scoring test, right? To get into colleges. Yeah. We talked about this before, but I got like a really low ACT and like my lowest thing was like English, which is ironic.
Mate, I can't spell that, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I tried to think for a second, mate, to be fair.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't, yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, what are these syllables?
And no, I don't think any American that doesn't previously know that information would get that right.
Yeah,
I genuinely think you would.
That was a state job.
Yeah, I think actually like 70% of English people wouldn't get that right.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
But that's Plymouth.
Yeah, Plymouth. Yeah. What do you think of Flow facility?
It was awesome.
So good, isn't it?
You know, just get beaten up by Frank. And then what was the coach's name again?
Sam Crook.
Sam. I was like, I've only been darsed by one man. And now there's been two. Like since like this year and like at least in the past, when I first started doing jiu-jitsu, I would get darsed a lot by one of my old coaches, Tom, the guy that adopted me, right? That was his favorite move. And then it would be Pixley. Like whenever I transitioned into being teammates at Pedigo, like I literally can't touch Pixley's leg without getting darsed. Mm-hmm. But then Sam he's probably like the third person to just get me. And man, I'd been practicing the escapes a lot because preparing to train with Pixley again. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep trying to like learn these escapes. And so with Sam, I did like 7 different escapes, and he just kept following me. Yeah, and then I started to see black, and I was like, all right, I gotta tap now.
We've got CCTV, mate.
Yeah. It's funny because I was like, there's no way he's finishing this dart. There's a 0% chance.
He's a fucker for it, man.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm probably not getting out of Pixley's darts anytime soon. Because like Pixley is like with Sam's, but with just like an extra level of aggression, where you feel like he's popping your head off. Darts suck though. I remember I illegally downloaded one of Gordon's instructionals, and I was looking for a friend.
No, you're just giving him more ammunition. What are you saying?
I know. No, I mean, he's amazing. He's the best. He's the best at jiu-jitsu. He's the best in the world. And so I downloaded his instructional, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to defend a Darce. And so I skipped to the part where he's like, all right, Darce defense. And he shows like the front roll, like we all learn, or like posting on the hip and like getting like, I guess, perpendicular to the person. And then at the end, it was like, how do you escape a fully locked Darce? And he was like, well, you can't. I was like, fuck. He was like, most likely if someone has you in a fully locked Darce, you're fucked. I was like, yo, that's crazy. So I'm fucked. Darces, I feel like, at least like with heel hooks, like there's a chance. Like there's a chance you can get out. But like a good Darce, when it's locked in.
It's really weird though, isn't it? Because I was saying to you earlier, like I haven't been Darce properly other than Sam for a while. Like I just don't seem to, I got a fat head, so I can kind of get my way out of it. And when he's so good at them, you just feel like, oh, I can still get out. And then all of a sudden,
that's how I felt.
You're just like, yeah, no, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I remember he said a story recently where he went and trained somewhere else, and this guy didn't believe that Darces like what?
They thought they were fake.
He was like, this guy was like, they're fake, and then Sam proceeded to Darce him a load of times, spammed him with Darces. This guy was like, I'm a Darce.
The wrong guy to say it to.
Yeah. Like
it was like the worst guy to say Darces are fake too.
We had Malachi Friedman on the podcast a while back, and he obviously talks a lot about being able to escape basically any Darce. And I watched some of his stuff. So it's where like he brings the like arm across and then he kind of runs around them.
Yeah, he like throws his far leg in. Yeah.
And I was doing that on Sam for a bit, but my neck was just getting so fucking jacked up.
Yeah, well, dude, your neck is, you're like, I know exactly the escape you're talking about, but it's like you're leaving your neck behind.
Yeah.
So it's getting like cranked on.
And Sam as well, he does that cup thing where you like step over your arm. You like, I don't know if you realize what he does. You like pose your head in with two hands. And then you're like, so you just can't get away, you know what I mean? And then as you're trying to get away, he's just like pulling you in again, and you're like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, no,
it's that initial bit. Yeah, you can't see it, but I watched him what he's doing, and he does that every time. He's uses both his hands, he squares up, steps over your arm, and then just
I believe it. It was so tight. I was like, fuck, dude, it's the bane of my existence. I feel like I'm impossible to guillotine. I can't remember the last time I actually guillotined, but the Darce, for all my ops, that's what you should be working on. Yeah. Working on a Darce.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's good.
How was the rolling at Los Bandidos? Because you did the takedown challenge, right? Saw that on the vlog, I think.
Yeah. So I'm posting my own video of the takedown challenge. It should be up next week. But it was good. It was super fun. It was hilarious. You know, it was very funny. No one won. I won the takedown challenge.
Did you win it? Yeah.
Yeah. It was So it was very fun. I like the takedown challenge because I was like, oh, it's good, especially if I do it with wrestling rules. Because like jiu-jitsu rules, it'll end up being like weird scoring, you know, like ADCC. It's too complicated. So Ferris, the guy who invited me out, one of the black belts there, he was like, bro, just do wrestling rules. And so I was like, whatever, that's fucking easier for me. Because wrestling rules is just if I get to turtle, it's 2, right? Or if I get you to your butt, it's just 2. It's not like jiu-jitsu where it's like I have to pin you for 3 seconds. It's like if you're down, you're down. Yeah. So it's a lot. It makes me like remember how much easier it is to get takedowns in wrestling than it is in jiu-jitsu. You're like, you really truly feel like you're a better wrestler when you're doing like true wrestling. That's what we were talking about earlier, is like there's some guys where you're like, oh, like in a pure wrestling match, like no one has a chance against these guys, right? Yeah, but it was super fun, man. And that's why I said I love those guys, because they're so much better than me. And even though the best guys who would kick my ass in a jiu-jitsu match, they were like, yeah, let's do this. They knew they were going to lose the wrestling challenge, but they were like, let's have some fun. Like,
did anyone get close?
No. No. Davis got in on my leg. Davis Asare, he got in on a good single leg, and he stopped a couple of my shots. He has very good hips, right? So I shot a couple double legs and Davis stuffed him, and then he shot like a single, and then I ended up like cradling him and like going behind and finishing the 2 with like a second left, man. Like it took the whole minute just to take Davis down, because he's very good. He's very athletic, and keeps his hands good. Like he always keeps one hand up, one hand down. So it's like perfect position. So Davis was probably the toughest. Ferris was really tough too, because he's very athletic. He's a little bit bigger too. He's like about 200 pounds probably. But no one got like close to actually taking me down. Thank God. Inshallah, as they say. They love to say there.
Yeah. You're going to do it tomorrow?
I think I'll do it, but I'll do it differently. I think I'll do it in the rounds, right? So we'll start on the feet, but it'll be like full rounds, and you get one chance. If I take you down, you've lost the challenge. That way, because I found that one challenge is like, I think messed my ankle up a little bit doing it. So I think I might do it, but I might do it to where like everyone gets one chance in a round. We have to start standing, and if you take me down before I take you down, that's it. If I take you down, the challenge is over. We just keep going. It's a jiu-jitsu match. That way, like, my body can get a rest in between it. Because I found out, I was like, whoa, my body's not super healthy right now. Like, it's not the greatest. But I think it'll be good to still do it in that way, that while protecting my now fucked up body. I'm getting old, man. Big 27. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, mate, getting there. Like I said, 28, I think the problem started for me. So you got a year maybe, mate, and then you're fucked.
Fuck. Gotta start taking steroids. It's like, no, I'm good. I'll retire. I'd say when I get to 31, Masters divisions immediately.
Yeah, do it.
So is it?
Yeah, no, bro, people think I'm joking. I'm like, I'm serious. I'm gonna become 31 and I'm gonna be like, I did my best. Whatever happens. I mean, that's still 4 years away, right? So it's like I have 4 years to do something good, and it's like if I just happen to suck for 4 more years, then I just happen to suck, and that's okay. I'm doing my best.
You're doing all right, mate. You're doing pretty good. In fact, I think the last time we spoke to you, I think was before the NoGi Worlds, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Was it before my match? Yeah.
So I think you were a purple belt. Yeah. I think it was after ADCC, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But before NoGi Worlds.
Yeah.
Obviously you won that, and then you got your brown belt. So tell us about that experience.
And it was horrible. It was a terrible experience.
Didn't expect that.
Daube said the same, to be fair, mate.
Yeah. So, man, it was horrible. So my first match, I was supposed to go with someone, I don't know their name. I did a really hard warm-up for the match, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready for my match. And then they held it back for like 30 minutes. And I was like, hey, like I'm ready for a match. And they held back for like another 30 minutes. And they're like, oh, we DQ'd the guy. And then I'm like, fuck. Like I did this really big warm up and I tried to keep warm for an hour after my warm up.
Way.
And I didn't eat any food. And
what
then
did he get DQ'd for?
He didn't show up.
Oh, he just didn't show up?
He no-showed, right? And they waited an hour to DQ him. And then I had this fucking 350-pound sumo wrestler. This dude's like a beach wrestler, sumo wrestler. He's 350 pounds.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's huge, wasn't he? Just
bro. And he's a very nice guy. His name's Kyle Federer. Or
yeah,
super nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's skilled, man. Like people like to make fun of him because how big he is and how he looks, but he's truly a pretty decent wrestler. And so like, man, that match was just like, fuck. It was just a grind. And I eventually take him down with like a duck under, signature move, right? But I'm feeling like shit, man, because I'm still cold. Like I was holding that warm up for like 2 hours and I didn't eat. This was me being an idiot, right? This was me not being professional. I didn't have any food. I was drinking a little bit of water, but not refilling electrolytes. So I felt absolutely terrible. And then in the next match, I was supposed to have Abraham from New Wave. And then he got hurt in the match previous. So I waited another hour. I warmed up for my match with Abe. And then, unfortunately, it really sucks. He hurt his knee pretty bad. It happens. It's not his fault. He got hurt, so he couldn't compete. And I was like, fuck. So I found out right before our match that he couldn't compete. And then I had to wait like another hour. And then it was me and Ian. And like, bro, I was cooked. I was so cooked. And I was like, fuck, it's Ian. Because that dude's a dog. Like, he's a dog, bro.
He's fucking big, isn't he?
Dude, and he's good, bro. It's bad because Ian is a big roid head. I love Ian. He knows, like, he's openly a big roid head. But the dude's really good at wrestling. Like, he's truly, like, a special athlete, right? So it's like... it's not a match you want to like go in and feel like crap. And I felt horrible. I was like, fuck, I might lose this match. Like I was genuinely like, this might be my day. Like, cause we had previously had a match at ADCC trials and I'd won cause I super ducked him and I took his back and I was like, okay, whatever. Like I'm going to ride this out. But I knew he was like a really, really, really good wrestler. And, I was like, fuck, dude, I feel horrible. I was cold going into the match. I wasn't eating, and I was just like very unconfident going into the match. And when I look back at the match, I hate it because I didn't take any risk. If you watch the match, it's very boring because I'm not really doing much. I wasn't committing to shots. Like normally, I have a good warm up. I'm committing to shots. Like I'm being a little reckless, and I think I always compete the best when I'm reckless. And I wasn't being reckless, and he's too good of an opponent to like try to shut down on, like to just try to win close. And so I won with like a pretty last second double leg. I think it was like a double leg. Yeah, I snapped into like a double leg and did like the back trip. But I was so disappointed in myself. I was like, I hate this match. This was a horrible match. I can't even watch it. Ian's amazing too, so it has nothing to do with Ian. I don't think I should like destroy Ian. It's not that. It was just like I didn't perform in that match the way that I'm like I should have performed. And I know it's crazy because it's like, oh, I won NoGi Worlds after losing the year before or getting DQ'd, but still losing. But I felt like I lost because I performed so bad. Like a match that I felt like should have been a much wider gap was much closer. And of course, that also is not to take away from Ian because he's such an amazing athlete and he's a really good guy. And he also has really good coaches and he works really hard and he game plans and he's a really good wrestler. So it has nothing to do with Ian, right? Like not the person. Right? I really like Ian, so I want to make it super clear. But it's like I know like reflecting right after the match, I was like, dude, I performed horribly. So it was less about the result, more about the performance.
Yeah. Didn't Ian win the absolute in the end on that?
Yeah.
Did you not do the absolute?
No.
Wasn't in the mood.
I was depressed.
Oh, really?
I got off and I was so mad at myself. I was so, because I'm like a real big competitor, and it was like the opposite of the Felipe Pena match, right? When I had the match with Felipe, I sent it. Like I was like, I felt good. I was fueled. I was warm. I was like, fuck you. Like I'm just gonna try things, right? And I felt like I was proud of that match. Not even just because of the double leg or whatever. I was proud of that match because like I went out there and I was like fearless. But in the Ian match,
yeah, because I think you both kept getting a few stalling calls as well, right?
because neither one of us were committing to shots. So like both of us would do like half shots, maybe touch each other's leg. I got a couple of like throw bys where I got to his back, but he escaped. He's very good at like, he'll fight hands.
Yeah.
So I got a couple near takedowns, which gave me 2 advantages, but then both of us had 2 negatives.
Yeah.
So I had 2 advantages and 2 negatives. He had 2 negatives. And then whenever I got to his back, I got a couple more negatives, but then because of the points for getting on the back, I end up winning.
Wasn't there some shit about, was it the body triangle?
It was the body triangle.
Yeah.
And I got negatives. I didn't know. I had Heath.
What did you get what did you get negative for?
If you hold a body triangle, you get negatives for it. I think, and you can get DQ'd for it. Because you were getting close,
for
right?
too long?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know this. And so I almost got DQ'd while I was on his back. And I was like, what the hell? Like the body triangle is a good play. Like I always rear naked choke better when I can get a body triangle.
Oh, it's such a good control, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. So I didn't know that, and Heath didn't know that, and Chewy, like Heath, Pedigo, and Chewy were both they're both always in my corner when I compete. Which like I always like to clarify because people are like, oh, you left Chewy for Pedigo. I'm like, no, bro. Like if you ever look at my actual corner, it's always Heath and Chewy. Like it's like a collaborative effort.
It's one team, mate. That's great.
Yeah, that's a good team, isn't it?
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, exactly. It's a great team, right? But I love both of those guys so much. But yeah, I almost got DQ'd, but probably my least favorite match ever, and it was because I feel like Ian deserved like a better opponent than the one I gave him. And I genuinely feel like we could have both. I feel like both of us could have opened up a lot more.
And had just a really good match.
It had a good match, but it was too much in my head about the result.
That's what I mean.
I was in my head about being tired. I was in my head about everything. Like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm tired. I've had a lot of weight. I didn't control the controllables. I like focused on like the stuff that I couldn't control. And I'm not saying I necessarily would have done anything better. Like the match probably still would have been close regardless, just because Ian's amazing. But I feel like I didn't even give myself the opportunity to score points. And I always had like this mind of like, it's not about winning. It's about scoring as many points as possible. Right? I got that from wrestling. Like just try to score as many points as possible. Try to get to the submission. Like you should be trying to rack it up. Right? And in that match, I didn't do that. And so yeah, it sounds horrible because I won. I won NoGi Worlds, and then I got my brown belt from Chewy a couple months later. He had to wait because I'm living in Canada, so I had to come back. It was a whole fucking thing. It was a whole fucking thing. But yeah,
did you know he was getting it?
Yeah.
He just said basically come back, get your belt.
Well, he would have given it to me earlier, because I'd been a purple belt for about like a year and like 10 months up until the point of NoGi Worlds. So going on like right about 2 years of being purple belt. So he was like, whatever, I'm going to give you your brown belt. But I was like, okay, I did NoGi Worlds at Pans for purple belt. Or sorry, I did NoGi Pans purple belt. And so I was like, okay, I want to win NoGi Worlds. So it was like a month later. So I was like, just let me have this match. And it was cool because I knew Ian was in the division. I knew Abraham from New Wave was in the division. I knew, wow, what's his name? There was another really good D2 national champion wrestler that was in my division that A beat. There was another D1 guy that was in the division that a British guy actually beat. There was a British purple belt.
Ben, young lad.
Yeah,
amazing. Do you know he's like 18, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beast. He beat a really good D1 wrestler.
He's a savage, mate. He will be like Ben Swainson. Yeah. Ian beat him, I think he just took him down and just mauled him a little bit.
He's a naked guy against Frank, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a naked guy against Frank, and he was, I think he was in that Progress.
He was, yeah.
Thing. Yeah. But he's
amazing.
I think he's like 18. He's like 18 or 19. He is legit.
He's so smooth. He just kind of got like Ian kind of dogged him a little bit. Ian dug-legged him.
Yeah.
And then just started, he just kept kind of like.
He just kind of couldn't get, he just overpowered him. You know what I mean? Like he's a kid, like not a kid, but like you could just see the physicality was just different. You know what I mean? Like the jiu-jitsu, I felt like if it was just a straight up jiu-jitsu match, he would win. You know what I mean? It was just.
But that's why it's a sport, right?
That's it. Yeah.
That's why it's a sport, right? He was like on paper probably better at jiu-jitsu than Ian, but Ian he's a beast. He's also a winner. He's a winner. He's a beast. Yeah, it's like people know like Ian won state in the hardest state to win.
Did I see the other day? He put someone up and he's had a ridiculous amount of jiu-jitsu matches already. Like he was like putting up, I can't remember how many it was, but Ian was saying I've had this many matches in this amount of time. And I was
like 70 in like a year.
Or something like that. Yeah, like 70 in a year. And I was like, fucking hell.
More than Frank.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was like, fuck, mate.
He's a freaking beast and he loves competing, man. And hopefully we get to compete against each other again. Like hopefully we get paid to compete against each other next time we do it. And I know Ian would love to do it. Me and him shoot the shit with each other all the time. We're friends. I really want to go train with Ian and PJ.
Oh mate, we've said that like our next trip I think would be San Diego. Yeah. Ian said to come out and train with him. So. Yeah,
San Diego is one of the best cities in the world.
Is it?
It's so beautiful, right? It's just damn expensive, man. That's why Ian is like, oh come on, come train. I'm like, fuck, it's expensive, bro. It's so expensive, but. Yeah, I would love to train with Ian, train with PJ. Obviously, would love to have another match with Ian. Ian, likewise, would love to have another match with me. And I think we're really good buddies. And we respect each other, but we also want to compete against each other.
Yeah, of course.
But he's so amazing, man. And I feel bad. I think both of us feel bad about our performance probably a little bit in NoGi Worlds because we're kind of chicken shit in our match. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's only because there was so much on the line, isn't it?
I think that's it. It wasn't like a super fight where it's like nothing really is won, right? It was like, okay, this is the finals in NoGi Worlds. We both knew it's our last time doing a purple belt tournament. And yeah, it was.
He's only been training like hardly any time as well, hasn't he? Obviously, like wrestling.
Okay, wait. Okay, so I call that bullshit because he was a professional MMA fighter, so he was training jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a professional. You can look him up. Ian Daube MMA. He fought for Cage Warriors.
Wow, so how long has he been doing jiu-jitsu for then? Because how long did he say? It was only a few years, he said.
Bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit. But I think like strictly jiu-jitsu, not much.
I think he might have said something like that in fairness. I think he might have said like he had done some sort of jiu-jitsu for a bit, but not done it properly, like wrestling and done it a bit properly.
Yeah, I think he did like MMA.
I think he's like now concentrating on it.
Yes, he's amazing, man. Like for being like jiu-jitsu just a little bit, he beats really good guys, you know. But yeah, it's the dude, really good wrestler, tough MMA fighter, amazing human being.
Yeah, fuck fighting.
It's cool too because he's a dad, which is so amazing. Like he's like that. If I was like a kid, I'd be like, oh, dude, this is cool. My dad's just out here still doing sports, bro. So
fucking Superman.
Yeah, he looks like Superman. But yeah, Ian's he's a really good, well experienced guy. He's competing a lot. But I'm telling him, I'll be like, dude, you need to compete less. You need to start getting paid to compete, man. Me and someone recently were talking about this. I don't want to know if they want me to say their name, so I won't. But it's like there comes this point where it's like you have to almost eventually stop competing for free, because then it's like you start to kind of put yourself in like the the back room for a lot of promotions. Like the Polaris, I saw the Polaris promoter say this on a post where he was like, he's less likely to bring out, especially foreigners, if he sees that they're competing for free. Like if they're doing like NoGi Worlds and stuff like that. And it's like, it makes sense. It really, it's like, it's hard because it's like, you want to build a name doing those little things. Like NoGi Worlds isn't a small thing, right? But it is compared to like some other stuff. But then also it's like the catch-22. If you keep doing those things, like lots of times you seemingly lose opportunities.
Yeah, but I think it's like supply and demand though, isn't it? If seeing you compete is regularly available to people, then why would they pay for it?
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
it's so smart. It's smart for a promoter. You're like, why the hell?
Well, it's like Gordon now. Like obviously he's got his health problems, but if he competes, how much would he get paid?
So much. And he
do you know what I mean? Like, because he's just not doing it all the time. He's just like, you know, if he's gonna, we would all want to watch him compete again. So every time he's gonna step back on the mats now, it's like, how much money are they going to pay him? It's going to be ridiculous, isn't it? You know, it's exactly that.
Yeah, but there's definitely a balance in that, like you're saying. How are you feeling about being a brown belt? Are you hoping to maybe do well at brown belt in the free comps and then get black belt and then go like fully pro, or are you just looking to transition now?
I'm not sure yet, man. It's like a lot of the second half of this year is very in the air right now. So I'm not really sure what's coming up or what I'm going to do or what I can do or what I can't do. But I would like to win Pans and Worlds at brown belt. Again, yeah, I know, like I said, blah, blah, blah. But like those are, to me, like their personal goals more than anything. So if a promoter is like, whatever, I'll be like, well, fuck off, like whatever. Like, so they're personal goals. Like Pans and NoGi Worlds are personal goals. Plus being a part of like joining Pedigo as a team. I love my teammates a lot. So it's really cool to go compete and be competing on the side with those guys. And like one of the coolest moments I always tell people about is like I was feeling like a really bad mood at NoGi Worlds, like I told you, and Pixie came up to me and was like, man, I love Pixie, man. I love this guy. This dude's so amazing. He's like, man, we're gonna kill these motherfuckers. And I was just like, I was like, okay, bro. Because man, I'm just like not in the mood. And it's good to have teammates like that who just are just like, yo, bro, we're about to kill it. Like Dayton, same thing. CJ, same thing. Like all these guys just being like, you're gonna kill it. Or Heath always being like, man, like going up for ADCC, like doing the camp. Heath's coming up to me. He's like, man, you're the best in the world, Brandon. And I'm like, I'm the best in the world. Yeah. You know, so I think joining Pedigo was so awesome because more than just the jiu-jitsu, it's having. I always had Chewy. Chewy's amazing and a great supporter, and he's still my coach. He's still my supporter. But I never had like a team, like a jiu-jitsu team. Like I had a wrestling team, and then joining Pedigo, I felt like I really got a real team, and the dudes, the guys and the women there are like family to me, and it's super cool because everyone thinks about Pedigo like it's only the competitors, but there's so many cool people that are in the gym that don't even really compete that are bringing everyone up, and it's like the really good vibe of the gym, and that's why I chose Pedigo, right? Like I could have gone to name any of the other big teams, and the other big teams are amazing too with amazing people. And I've had good experiences at places, especially B Team. I absolutely loved my experience. Craig was so cool. Everyone was super cool when I went to B Team like 4 years ago. I went twice, so 4 years ago and then 2 or 3 years ago. And it was so amazing. But I have no complaints about my experience with B Team. It was just like when I went to Pedigo, it was like, oh, dude, I'm home here. And it was crazy because for a long time, I was very like salty with Pedigo. Like I was because Pixley fucked me up at NoGi Worlds when I was a blue belt in 2021. He snapped me down and high elbow guillotined me in like 10 seconds. And I remember like, I would get so pissed when I would see that clip go around. But then it's like once I started to become really good friends with everybody and we got through that, like Pixley was like, I fucking hate seeing that video. Like, because he's very, at least I can't speak for him, but in my experience, he's very like for the homies. Like if you're his friend, he's like, he's your homie. So, I fell in love with that part of Pedigo and like actually getting to know the people. And I'm like, this is the best team in the world. And it's not because of the jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu is great, right? But it's like the day-to-day people, the really good guys, and the 9 to 5 workers that come in and are gonna try to like beat you up regardless, So I don't know how I got on that, but that's my.
There's so many. It seems though, like in Austin now, there's so many different places to choose from, isn't there? Like,
it's crazy, bro. It's so awesome.
So, like when we went there, it was like you don't know where to train, do you? You know, when we speaking, it was like, should we go Six Blades? Should we?
Yeah, when they got Kingsway there.
Kingsway, yeah, like Gordon, and that's going to be sick, innit? Do you know what? They're going to clean up, opening that up to the public.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like just being able to go and visit and train with them. Like,
they're smart, man. It's such a good business move for them.
They've got to have a big place, surely. Especially because they got the money. They should be like.
It looks like an amazing place too.
I haven't seen
clean. Like I don't know. Like, I mean, it's pretty easy. It just looks good. Like it looks very professional. So they're gonna kill it, bro. They're probably have like 400 students in like the first day.
Oh no,
like a grand, like a grand open mat. Like. They're smart, man. It's super quiet. At least I heard they had been trying to open somewhere up for a while, and they finally did it.
Yeah, they're doing gi and no gi as well, and they're doing it properly. Like
it's smart, man.
Yeah. They're just not. They're not stupid. Like I would go there just to train with them, just to see what it was like, and just to, like
no, 100%.
Why would you not?
It's so smart too to have gi in your program too. Like, whenever I open a gym, I'm gonna hire a gi coach. I'm not gonna do it myself, but if I'm gonna open a gym, I want to be in a place financially where it can be like, all right, let's get a good gi guy. Like his thing is gi, and you hire him and he does the gi stuff.
Why do you think that's important?
I think you get more demand. Like there's more demand to do jiu-jitsu when there's the gi. Like people love seeing the gi. People love seeing the belt. Kids love the belt. Right, kids love.
Fact, my boy is ecstatic with his third stripe this week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, Dad, look at my third stripe. Like, and I think it's super cool. And I think the gi is really rewarding because when you do get that stripe or you do get that belt, it's like some real confirmation. And then for people who are like weekend warriors, I feel like the gi is really nice to have because it's a way to get some, I don't know if affirmation is the correct word for it, but to get some affirmation for your work. Like, you're working 40 hours a week and you make the time to do jiu-jitsu twice a week. It's nice to get that new belt every 3-4 years. People hate on belts so much, and I hate belts for me personally because like we talked about like the complicated things, but I don't hate belts as in for everyone, especially for like 9-to-5 workers who are just doing jiu-jitsu as like a hobby. I hate belts for me because it's complicated with like, what should I do? What shouldn't I do? But for regular people and being like a coach, it's like, for some people, they're like, man, like they're ride or die.
We had this exact discussion on the last episode with Mike from BJJ After 40. And it was, Danny was similar to you. He was like, I fucking hate belts, get rid of them. And I was like, actually, I kind of like belts because I'm a bit older, I coach. I like them. I like having something to show for it.
It's not black or white, right?
It's not. And again, like I understand why belts are there. And I like belts, but at the same time, I fucking hate them. Because I was saying I hate them though, because sometimes they restrict people from actually just focusing on their skill in jiu-jitsu. Because I was thinking about what I said, and like sometimes I feel like they chase a belt, or they're like, or if they're injured and they have time out, and then they're coming back and they're a brown belt or a black belt, and then they're getting beat up by a blue belt or a purple belt, then they don't come back, and that's it then, and they're like never seen again. Just things like that. I just think like it just limits people at times.
Right.
But I understand why it's important at the same time. So it's like, there's no perfect answer. There's no perfect answer for it. Because again, like you're saying, my lad, honestly, he got his third stripe unexpectedly this week, and he's fully locked in now in his little face. And I was like,
he's so happy, red face, feeling
that's
good.
Why belts are important for kids, especially because now he's going to me, he said, like, won't be too long, I should get my new belt, shouldn't I? And I was like, mate, you got to keep going. Now he's like 5 days a week, every night. And he's like, mate, every night. So cool, he's in the advanced class. He's there every night now, like no qualms.
Yeah, he was a kid that came in earlier. You might have seen it.
Yeah, it was my boy. Yeah, my boy come in at thing, and then he got on the mat with that other lad, and they like nearly rolled off the mat straight away. But yeah, so he's like, it's took me a good year of badgering him, but like the last 3 months now, he's like, I'm locked in, because he started seeing the progression. That was the difference. Like he went for a while, he was doing MMA, and he was like, he had no progression, no gi, putting gloves on, getting beat up by some older kids, this and that. Whereas now he's like, I got a belt, I'm like working towards something that's really important to him. Yeah. It cost me like 200 quid yesterday on gis and rash guards and whatever. And he was like, and I was buzzing to pay. He's like, Dad, can I get some new gis? I was like, yes, you can, son. Yes, you can. What do you want? A couple of rash guards, some shorts?
Yeah.
I was like
100%. And I think it's cool. It's good for the gym and for the students. And people hate capitalism, But capitalism is not a bad thing. It's especially if it's done right. And I think sometimes there's like one of the cool things about jiu-jitsu is wrestling is the poor man's sport. Like if you go to America, most people will say that like you can find the best wrestlers and they're broke, right? Unless they're able to snag a really good sponsorship. But it's like, how long is that sponsorship going to last? But if you're like a guy who moves over to jiu-jitsu, he opens a jiu-jitsu gym, it's like evergreen. So you can forever, you can be 70-year-old, still have a jiu-jitsu gym, still be teaching.
Yeah.
And it's like for life. And yeah, maybe you're not going to be rich, right? But it's like...
You could have a good life out of it.
You can have a good life.
And let's be honest, like, if you taking like a life of a jiu-jitsu practitioner, that is amazing. Imagine like you just earn a good amount of money and you can live that lifestyle. No. I'd rather earn less and live that lifestyle than earn loads of money and be miserable in a boring 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you have the opportunity for lots of cash
and
too.
Traveling and meeting loads of cool people and just doing something you love.
That's my favorite part, man. I like telling people now, it's like I like competing, especially when it's high stake competition. But I really love traveling and I love meeting people. Again, why I came here is I love meeting people, man.
Well, like today's been such a cool day, hasn't it? Like, awesome. You know what I mean? Like pick you up, rolling, food, this. It's like, it's just really fucking cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of traveling and meeting people, somewhere else you went recently was obviously Standard Jiu Jitsu.
Yes. Oh, you loved it.
Oh, mate, you. Here we go.
Yeah, no. I mean, I got nothing but good things to say, right? And then, so I went to Standard Jiu-Jitsu with my friend Chris Alfar. He's a black belt out of TriStar in Canada. I'd been talking to Greg for a while. Greg's awesome. One of the coolest things about Greg was I was asking him lots of questions, and I was kind of shitting on Greg really hard before I started communicating with him. And he actually did not respond to me aggressively, and I had kind of attacked him a bit.
Why were you attacking him? Go back to that.
I was just kind of telling him he's fucking stupid, and like, you know, I was telling him this, but I was wrong. Like, and here's the thing: I don't think I was necessarily wrong about the way that I had liked training wrestling, but I think I was wrong in the way that I approached it like a child and not an adult. And the way he responded to me made me respect him more, because my thing is like, Greg gets very heated on podcasts and stuff. But if people go listen to the interview I had with him on YouTube, it's like a 20-minute interview. No, it's like a 30-minute interview. And I'm asking him some like real hard-hitting questions. And like, he's chill, man. Like, he's not aggressive. He's not defensive. And it was because when I talk to him like he's a human being. And I think that's the problem, is that people don't treat Greg like he's a human being. And then, of course, like he's gonna have, like, he could potentially have an emotional reaction to that, right? And then it's like a good reference I like to think about, and I don't want to use like religion as an example because I don't want to say CLA is a religion.
It's a cult.
Yeah. but imagine.
I'm only joking.
Yeah, we're
joking.
Don't come at me. Oh, it was just a joke. But imagine every day you woke up, you walked outside and someone said, that's wrong. Like you breathing air, that's wrong. And you're like, but like, it's just what I do. Like, but like, why don't you breathe water? Like, and I think sometimes that's how Greg feels, is like, no matter what he does, he gets attacked for just doing what he does. And it's crazy because people don't know Greg's been doing this for a really long time, but he got really popular recently. And so people think he just made it up now. Like, oh, he just 2023, Greg Souders just mixed up some bullshit. But you're like, no, his gym's been open forever.
Yeah.
Right? He was at Lloyd Irvin, and then he opened up his own gym. And he's been at it for a super long time. And he has some really successful students. But I don't even like to bring up successful students because I don't necessarily like to point at individual accolades as a means to define if a coach is good or not. I actually think it's a very weak argument, and I have reasons for that. But I think Greg is a good coach. I think when we talked with each other, I think I learned a lot more. Specifically, like the way that he teaches was actually very good for me. But I don't know why it was good. Because I'm not a fucking scientist, right? I enjoyed it. It was exhausting for me, but it was very doable. Clearly, the guys were super cool.
Did you learn a lot?
I did actually learn a lot. The biggest thing that I learned that I took away is learning how to kind of develop games for my classes. So like if you go to my classes in Montreal, we're going to do lots of like lots of games on top of our technique and technical drilling. I mean, I know Greg does not like mixed at all. But whatever, I'm not trying to convince him otherwise. I like both, and I'm not saying it's right. Yeah, it could be just a waste of time. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But my problem was I was just doing one, which was just like static drilling. And actually, I found that I was able to teach more of a feel. I don't even know how to explain that word, but like more of a look for my students when specifically teaching wrestling, because sometimes in jiu-jitsu, it gets very static with wrestling. Like, all right, we grab the leg and that's it. And you're like, no, like realistically, you should be shooting to the leg. Your partner's sprawled before you've even got your hands locked. Like you should be running corner. You're coming out the middle, learning how to build up to body lock, stuff like that. And I've always found that very hard to teach. And then when I implemented some of the games that Greg kind of taught, not specific games, but like the styles of games, I found it was actually a lot easier for me to start to teach techniques for late stage offense in wrestling, specifically like single legs. Like we would do the game where it'd be like, all right, man A trying to connect two hands to man's B above man B's leg, and you know, lower the level of man B. Your goal is to never allow man A to connect his hands. Okay, well they do that, and now people are sprawling or hitting whizzers without even knowing what those things are. Brand new people. And then now I can be like, okay, guys, here's how we finish a single leg when someone sprawls. Because I was having a problem before where I'd be like, all right, guys, let's do a sprawl. And then fucking jiu-jitsu people have two left feet, man. So it's like trying to teach a sprawl was really hard versus when I played these games, people were intuitively not letting people touch their legs, which ended up being like a sprawl and a whizzer. But my thing was I liked doing both because I'm like, okay, you know the consequence. Now let's slow it down and let's do a technique about how I like to kind of address a sprawl, you know, without resistance, right? But yeah, I don't know. I get why Greg does it the way he does it. I get it a lot more now that I went.
I just think I think it looks great. It looks fun. It looks exactly, you know, when I watched what you was doing, it looks really good and really fun. And I understand the benefit of it. I think the biggest problem sometimes is just the way Greg comes across. Yeah. And then he'll just be like quite condescending to people when they're talking to him. And because they don't understand at the same level he does, because I don't think anyone really does, like understand his vision at the same level. Yeah, and then he just gets really frustrated and then he puts them into like on the back foot. And then it just goes to and fro. And then people are like, Greg's a wanker. He's not. He was super nice to us. Like he was so nice to us, wasn't he? He was like, it was a really good podcast and he was really good. So we haven't, you know, got anything bad to say, but when I listen to podcasts that he's in, and he will put you on the back foot, as even if you're just a regular like conversation, you'll just put something back to you, and you're like, what do you mean? And we don't you kind of don't understand the question that he's even asking you. You know what I mean, or the purpose of the question. And I think that's where he gets the bad rap. I think so, you know what I mean? Like I don't think it's actually the process. I don't actually think like what he's offering and what he's telling people to do is fucking good. Right. I don't dispute that. I think for sure the big problem why he gets so much controversy is just the way he comes across. For sure. I 100%. Does that make sense? Like it's just that. I think it's just his personality type. He's a bit prickly. He's a bit of a prickly personality. You know what I mean? Like if he doesn't agree with what you say, he's going to argue with you until the cows come on. Whereas if you have an opinion and I have an opinion, I'm not going to say to you that's fucking shit until you know, and just argue it out, because I'll just be like, well, that's Brandon's opinion. Like, I'll just let that go. Like, I don't agree, or he don't agree with me, but, you know, whereas he'll be like quite confrontational about it. Yeah. And I think that's where all the controversy comes from. I don't think it's actually CLA. For sure. Yeah. I hate debates too. Like, I think they're absolutely meaningless. And I think like when the conversations start getting really emotional, then it's like, why are we having this conversation? And I think like any of like the really viral moments with Greg are the very emotionally heated ones. Yeah, but it's like a snippet in it of like the whole conversation though, I find is lost. And then it's like that 1 30-second thing, isn't it? But that's just social media. That's just... Yeah, it's like we said, it's social media, man. That's it, yeah. I think my advice, because I really like Greg, I think that the best way to get to know Greg, at least get to like have, because you'll never actually truly know someone. All right, that's a very hard thing to do, but a good thing for people to do is instead of arguing with Greg or Greg arguing with them, I think they would
it would be good to have a conversation with Greg if you went and trained with him for a week. And then I find you can have more educated, not you, but in general, the people.
No, but it would be me. Yeah. It's no problem saying that. Like, it would be. I would love to go and train there because I'm interested in what he trains like.
He would be very welcoming, and he would treat you well, and he would make sure you're safe and feeling good. And so it'd be like, I think the best interviews with Greg would happen if you went and trained with him for a week, and then you say, Greg, because he will say yes. He will always say yes. If you're like, Greg, I want to interview you after, because that's what I did. I was like, I wanted to interview him before, but then I was like, no. I'm going to buy a flight. I'm going to go train. I don't want to talk to him before, like I actually train. Like I don't want to like have a good long, because I'm going to sound like an idiot. But I found that I had a lot more informed questions and critiques after training with him, and he was a lot. Also, I think I put down the wall myself by going there and being humble and finding out he's a great coach. Like I really loved the way he taught me. Like he did little things that made me feel like I was back in like an old wrestling school with like the games where he didn't do too much intervention, but he did enough to make me go, oh, this is very specific, right? And I think it's a lot more specific than people think it is. And I really found a lot of value for going. And that's why I tell everyone when they ask me about the Greg Souders experience is like, Greg can be an emotional person on podcasts. And I think podcasts aren't his best platform because people often go to podcasts with leading questions to make Greg, break out, whatever. So I think, not that leading questions are always bad. I think if people go train with him, their questions will change and they'll be better questions. And I think when the questions get better, you notice that Greg's less emotional, because then I can ask Greg, like, why do you do this? I think this might be better. He can be like, oh, you're actually asking why I do exactly this in my class. You're not just doing this like thing that you saw on some random Facebook ad where they're like, Greg Souders says, I hate drilling, right? So which most of the questions will be like, Greg, why do you hate drilling? you know Atos does drilling. But instead, you can be like, oh, Greg, when you're at practice, I noticed that with your terminal games, you do this. Or, hey, I didn't realize that you mix terminal and continuous games. Why do you do that instead of just doing continuous games? And it's like, oh, now I can ask you questions and you can be like, oh, either maybe I haven't thought about that, or, I do it this way because I want this end result. And I think Greg has better interviews with people who go train with him, but I actually don't think there's that many people who have gone and trained with him and then interviewed him,
I think he needs to not do an instructional. I think he needs to do like a course.
Yeah, too late. You know I mean? Too late.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, too late. Do you know what I mean? Like a course where he's like actually going to sit there every week and speak to the coaches and teach like how they're going to not just, give them the games, like understand the methodology better.
Yeah, I think he tries by telling people what the books are. Like he'll tell you like Rob Gray.
Yeah, well, you've read them, haven't you?
Yeah, I got through 1.5, but you got to be in the science, man.
It's too much. Yeah. Yeah, but it's crazy. It's like I get people's beef with Greg because I had the same beef, Greg is emotional. We've talked about this, but I'm fucking emotional, right? And like sometimes I'm too emotional. And the worst part about social media is it sometimes brings the worst out of us. And it doesn't like show people like one of my friends, Evan, a really good guy, the D2 wrestler, was talking about the other day. And we were talking about how often we dehumanize people who have any level of popularity, right? Even in a niche like jiu-jitsu, we tend to dehumanize people, right? So it's very easy to be like, you fucking suck. You're an idiot. You don't know what you mean. Instead of being like, what do you mean, right? And I think a lot of times, like, a lot of us get that, right? If you're in the space at all, you get that. And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to go see Greg is because I've seen the toxic side of being a part of social media, right? And I was like, fuck it. I'm no longer going to be like this headline reader who just kind of spews things that I've heard. I'm going to go see what it is. And there were things that I liked. I mean, there was so much that I liked. And there were things that I didn't like. Like I felt like I couldn't keep up with like the conditioning level of it, right? I felt like I did a really bad job of pacing myself, and I think that would change over time of doing anything. But there was nothing in particular that I didn't like from Greg himself. Actually, I was very impressed by the fact about how intentional he is as a coach. Man, he makes the guys wear heart rate monitors, and like he checks to make sure the guys aren't getting like sick. Like they have like the app to where like you can see your fatigue levels. So he'll be like, hey, Noah, today you're not training because I saw on the app like your numbers are like low, so you're out for the day.
No way.
Yeah, and they all have the same strength and conditioning coach. All the pros have the same strength and conditioning. They all go and support each other for competitions.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't say again, but he doesn't say this.
He does, but
I don't know what he didn't say to us, but I've not heard him say that.
But it was like crazy because it was like, oh shit, Greg's a fucking good coach, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's genius, man.
He's a true coach.
That's professional. And that's the very little. But
people don't hear about it. People don't hear about it because I again, it's when I had the interview with him, I try to approach it and talk as little about CLA as possible with him. I did talk about it, right? Like I asked, like, what's a terminal game? What's a continuous game, right? Those are the two type of games that he plays. And maybe there's more, but those are the words that he uses as terminal and continuous. But when I talked to him, I wanted to be like, who's Greg as a coach? But jiu-jitsu people are people who usually who weren't athletes before. So when they think about coach, they think about an instructor, which is someone who teaches you technique. But Greg's not an instructor. He's a coach. He creates practices where he guides you to potential solutions, right? Or he tries to put you in places where solutions can be found. Now, is it the best way? I don't fucking know.
Is it more fun than just drilling and regular coaching? Is it like more enjoyable when you go to class?
Yes. It's so much more fun. And it's shorter too. Like the classes were, he could tell you like, I can't, maybe like 45 minutes.
Yeah, he said his guys train 45 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
That's it.
He said that on our podcast.
Yeah. I knew you said one session a day, but I didn't realize it was 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes. I tried to do 2 sessions a day. So my first day I did 2 sessions. I was wrecked. And I was like, it was so funny. I was talking shit to Greg. I like this guy a lot, man. He's funny. I was like, Greg, I'm here for 5 days. I'm going to train twice a day every day. He was like, okay, we're going to see. Bro, after the first day of training twice a day, I couldn't get up out of bed. I was like, Greg, I'll see you at 7 p.m. He was like, I told you, bro. But yeah, it's like no one's out of shape there, and it's very good. I think he's awesome, man, and I really feel for him and I empathize for him because social media is horrible, and I think he is an emotional guy, and I think he could do a lot better job not being condescending, because his biggest problem is, yes, he can be very fucking condescending. Like I think even he knows this, and I think like I don't know what the solution is. Maybe you just got to work on yourself, or maybe you do less interviews, or maybe you pick your interviews. Like I don't do every interview that people ask me to. Like I get asked for do so many podcasts, but I'm like, I don't fucking know you, bro. Like, but for Greg, he does everything because he just wants to share it, but also he's an emotional guy and he can be condescending, and he's Greg, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's that passion is also why he's a really good coach. And no one's perfect, and no matter what, he could be a lot worse than what he is. And I feel for him, but I also understand people's hate towards him. And I've told him this, and this is why I did not like him at first. Because like, dude, you're a fucking asshole. Like that's why if you go look at our old messages, it's like, dude, no one's gonna listen to you because you're an asshole. And he knows it. He knows it, and I think he wants to work on it. But I can't speak for him. Yeah,
I saw him on the Simple Man podcast, and I think he brought in a couple. He brought in the Corbet brothers, and I think DeAndre joked that he was there to moderate Greg and make him more podcast friendly, which I thought was quite funny. But you talk about like obviously all the heat he gets, but obviously the opportunity he's now got with CJI,
that's crazy,
is largely because of that heat and his polarizing character. So it's not all bad, man.
It's not all bad. You're right. That is true. It's freaking awesome that he's the coach. I don't know how that's gonna work, but whatever.
I think he wants the guys to go down there. So I think he's basically said there's no trials. He wants guys that are passionate about being in that event to reach out to him, and then
go and train and see what he thinks.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a sick team if they all train with him.
Who do you reckon's gonna go down there? Has he even said anyone yet?
No,
DeAndre. It's DeAndre, but that's it. Yeah. But is anyone actually like gone out there? And
I don't know. I think I saw him on I think it might have been the official CJI interview that he did recently, where he might have said that maybe like, I think one dude, maybe two have been down there so far, but a lot of people have reached out.
Mate, just get on a plane, mate.
Just get on a plane and go.
Just get on a plane.
Go to Maryland,
DC.
It's a cool gym.
But yeah, we'll come on to CJI in a second because I definitely want to talk about that. Before we do, I was curious to your comment a minute ago that you said where you said that you didn't think athlete success was a good measure of coach's ability. You said you had a reason why. Can you explain?
I think, obviously, the reason I say athlete success is not a good measure of a coach's ability is because like we were talking about earlier, it's like, where do you draw a line? Like, what is a successful athlete? Because, like, for example, we've talked about it before. I wrestled in the NAIA, right? So if Gable Steveson came up to me and said, Brandon, you suck, you wrestle in the NAIA, he'd be like, fucking probably right. But then I could go up to some other random wrestler. I've wrestled tons of guys who are like 4-time high school state champions, and I've wrecked them. That fucking kid's good. But just because I wrecked that kid doesn't... So my thought is that I think we should be wary of putting too much weight on individual accomplishments, because if we define success too much by gold medals at any certain level, then the line can always get moved back, right? It's like you can win ADCC, and then I can be like, well, you fucking suck. You didn't win 2 ADCCs. Well, you suck. You didn't win 3 ADCCs. So yeah, where medals do matter, like coaches should try to win stuff. I think what defines a good coach to me, when I think about like in college wrestling, is like it's a coach who was a good mentor. It was a coach who was a good person who had students who wanted to stay. Like one of the coolest things about Lindsey Wilson College was my coach, Corey Ruff. Man, people stayed. Like you had like 30, you'd get 40 people and 30 of them would stay every year, right? That's in college, that's high retention, right? So it's like a good coach is a guy who can keep guys around. A good coach is someone that people can buy into. A good coach is someone who's human. They humanize you. They're both your friend and they're your mentor, and they can knock you on your head if you want. And so for me, I think the last part about being a good coach is gold medals. And I know that sounds kind of corny and cringy and whatever, but for me, a successful coach is someone that people want to be coached by, and not necessarily someone who just makes you good, because again, that word good, that word sucks. It's really weird and it's very relative. You know, I've been told I suck ass a lot online because I wrestled in the NAI, and I've whooped a lot of people's asses, but I've also had my ass whooped quite a bit in wrestling too. And on any given day, I can either look like I'm amazing or horrible. And so I define my success by the fact that I stuck to it. I did my best. I was successful in my realm. And I think for coaches, on the opposite end, it's like you're someone that people want to be coached by. You're a good human being. You're a good mentor. Like those that you keep people around. Like you have good retention. It's like a good sign of a good jiu-jitsu gym is when you have 20 black belts, and they don't all need to be savages, but they stayed around. And so for me, all those things come before gold medals, because realistically, 99.9% of people don't compete, and even more than that are never going to be at ADCC or ever going to be at CJI or never going to win black belt worlds. So it's like, if you measure a coach, measure a person as a good coach by those accolades of the 0.001%, then now you're saying everyone sucks except for 10 coaches, which I think is a shitty thing to say. And it's a really shitty way to look at it. So that's just my opinion. And some people might be like, Brandon, you're stupid, but whatever, cool. Yeah, so that's what I mean by it.
Nice, makes sense to me. Yeah, definitely. So CJI, so you mentioned Gable.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, let's start there. You think he beats Craig?
No way. But I don't care if he beats Craig. It's like super cool because I really like both people. Gable has one of the funnest personalities in wrestling. Anyone in the wrestling world knows Gable's just cool, man. He's got the most swag. He's one of the funnest wrestlers. He always goes out there to put out a show, win or lose. Gable's like a fun guy to watch, and he, unlike most wrestlers, he has a really good personality. So he's very respectable, but he's also funny. And then Craig is the GOAT. I love Craig, man. He's a crazy guy, but he's so funny, and he's also, I think, behind all the other stuff, like a really good-hearted person too. So when I met Craig a couple years ago, I don't know if Craig remembers me, man. He was so sweet to me. He was like one of the kindest human beings, and he was like, "Oh, Brandon, let's roll." And I don't know if he remembers me or not, but I remember him, and I was like, "What the hell? This guy knows my name." And so I only have good things to say about Craig, and I think it's so cool that like two of the most popular guys in their fields are gonna just have a match just for fun, right? Like it's clearly just for fun. Like we all know that like just being a wrestler is not enough to be a. Also, people forget Craig's really fucking good.
I don't know. Yeah, Craig is unbelievable.
People forget how good he is because he's so funny. He's so funny, you forget that he's actually like, he's still one of the best guys in the world.
Easily. I watch some of those vlogs sometimes on B Team and I'd like piss myself. He's like fucking up like the top guys. Like,
he'll do some crazy shit to Nicky Rod.
Yeah, or like Declan or someone and what the fuck has he just done? Yeah. Like,
so I think people forget that Craig is just an absolutely amazing guy at jiu-jitsu, but I think it's because he's absolutely hilarious. And so he's like, he's even funnier than he is good at jiu-jitsu. But that's crazy because he's so good at jiu-jitsu. Like, I couldn't imagine being that good, but also being that funny. So it's like, I think it's cool because it's like two of the best possible personalities from two different worlds. And I think everyone in wrestling wants to watch Gable compete. Like, obviously in the jiu-jitsu world, Gable's not quite as popular, but everyone in wrestling, I guarantee there's going to be like 100,000 more people minimum who are going to watch CJI.
Really?
Brother, Gable is the most popular wrestler. There's no one's close. Kyle Snyder might be the most popular right now, but Gable is truly like sports wrestling because he's, do you guys use the word swag here? Like he has the most swag. He's the best. Like he lost recently, but it's like, it doesn't matter. Like he's still the best. Like he's that guy. And then Craig is that guy in both jiu-jitsu, but other ways. So I think it's amazing. I think it was so smart of Craig.
Oh, mate, them boys like Seth and him, and there's just social media geniuses at the moment. They're just smashing it, and they're just like every day. Like CJI is so big now, and it's only going to get bigger. And it's
amazing, man.
He's just propelling himself into like stardom really in the jiu-jitsu world. And like, you know, we put that one comment saying about him coming down and doing a seminar with us. I had like 5 messages. I woke up to 5 messages saying, if Craig comes down, let me know. Craig comes down, let me know. And I was like, what the fuck are they on about? I didn't even realize he put a message out. Like, do you know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck you on about, boys? Like, and then I looked over and I was like, we just put a comment. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone wants to hang out with Craig, man. Yeah. He's the coolest dude in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Dude, I think it's so cool. It's just two super cool guys. They're both amazing, and I think a lot of I'm gonna watch it. I'm sure you guys are gonna watch it. That's gonna be insane. So that's what I think about that.
I wish just had more money, mate. I'd go out there again.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You need to buy one of the Street X tops and try and get the golden one, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the VIPs.
Yeah. Mate, it'd be fucking sick, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So circling back to the Americas team, then obviously with Greg. So obviously DeAndre in at plus 66, but other than that, like Greg is being completely silent about who he's had inquiries from.
I wonder.
I mean, first question, you didn't fancy it?
Fucking, he didn't ask me.
Mate, you got to ask him. Get out there.
I don't think I do enough submissions for his liking, which is cool. It's very fair. Like I'm blessed that I got to compete at ADCC, but I know I have like a long way to go in jiu-jitsu. So it's whatever. Like I'm fine being a fan and being like, I know that like I've gotten a lot better, but I know that like I haven't proven myself to be that guy. But there's lots of guys I would love to see. ADCC, Paul Ardila is doing the European trials, which I'm really surprised. I felt like he would have done the Greg thing, but I think I saw in the interview he was like he wants to earn it. He doesn't want to be invited. So man, and Greg's thing, he said he wants guys to really submit. And so, I mean, there's so many people in the Americas, right? Because that's Brazil, that's the US, that's Canada. I really have no idea, honestly. Like,
yeah, do you know, I'm exactly the same. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, it could be anyone.
There's too many people, man.
There's
and
so
Victor
many.
Hugo's out. So it's like, so I was like, oh, maybe Victor Hugo. And then it was like, oh,
Penna's obviously.
And now Penna's out.
Yeah.
So you're like, who the hell is left, bro? Like,
yeah, plus 99.
Yeah.
Who is there? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there's...
It's your division, tell us.
Yeah, fuck. Well, who even is... Well, Big Dan is on the New Wave team, right? Luke Griffith is on the New Wave team. Yeah. So that's the top... Oh, Josh Saunders. Well, he's not going to do it, right?
Oh, wait, Roberto Jimenez.
He's minus 88. Yeah, he's small, but he might be on the Americas team. That's
what I mean. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wow, dude, you're right. Like all of like the really top plus 99 guys are out.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody.
Give me a call, Greg. No, it's okay. Like I really don't. Yeah, it's like I get it. Like, but
you're saying that though. You should definitely put your hat in the ring and go in. You know, you're You know what I mean? Like, you're there. You're being really humble. You're not like, you're not. Yeah. You could go there and definitely do a fucking job, mate. Like, don't put yourself down.
I would love to just prove myself first.
But you got to throw yourself out there to prove yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's a good opportunity, and you've already worked with Greg.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's not that many plus 99 guys in the US at the moment. Is there? Who else is there?
Dude, I'm trying to think about who to be. I mean, we're
talking you into it, yeah, aren't we?
Dude, I'm really thinking, but he could also do like a minus 99 guy that bumps up to plus 99 too. So that adds like a whole nother, right? Like, well, I guess minus 99, who would it be? It was Cyborg got second. Pixley, and then, who the hell even placed? Man, I don't even know who placed at ADCC. Wait, Kynan beat... Who did Kynan beat in the final? Oh, Rafael Lovato. Maybe Lovato. Maybe that's a good one.
Maybe, but maybe. Would he do it?
Right, I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, would he do it? He's not going to go down to Standard and train, is he?
True, because
he's not going to do that.
Gym,
yeah, right. he's not going to go and do that.
Hugo's competing, so he's not going to compete against... They're like family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I say, when people ask me to do competitions, if I think it's worth doing it, I do it, right? But I haven't,
Mate, from what I remember hearing Greg say, he was pretty much, guys, if you
get in touch.
Yeah, get in touch. Let me know.
Yeah.
Swaffer.
It is what it is. I know for sure, at least I'm going to do ADCC trials this year.
Yeah, nice.
Because I didn't win trials yet, and I think this year I'm a favorite. I would assume. I'm so much better than I was at trials when I got third. Like, it's when I watch me like at that, I'm like, oh, that's horrible. You're just terrible, right? And so I'm still like, I still look at myself because I'm like I have this problem where like I grew up with very high standards. So like I'm like, you're not. But I still like when I compete hard. So I don't like the lack in belief doesn't show when I compete, but it's just like when I'm off the mat sometimes. But I think I have a good chance of winning ADCC trials. Obviously, there's so many amazing opponents, and I would love to have, go with Mike Perez again. I really like Mike too. He's a cool homie. I hate doing shout outs or call outs or whatever because it's not really a call out. It's just more like, hopefully I get to have this match with Mike again because he was amazing, and maybe I'd lose again. I don't know, but that was like the most embarrassing way to lose possible because I just kind of froze in that match. And dude, when I lose like that, it haunts me. It haunts me, and
gotta put it right.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Mike Perez though, right? It had nothing to do with him, right? He's a good guy, but it's more like, man, I didn't give. It was like we said about the evening, like I didn't give him a match he deserved, even if I lost, whatever, because Mike's experienced guy, he's beaten everybody. So I'm like, even if I lost to Mike in a different way, it would have been better, but I just didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm really excited to do ADCC trials again. I did a ADCC Open already this year. I might do another one. Man, there's so many now, so I'm gonna do a little. Like I said, I'm going to PSF for a couple months in a couple weeks just to kind of get back. I need someone to kick my butt for a bit, and I know Pixel and Couch are just gonna wreck me. So, but that's when I want to compete. I want to compete when I'm getting wrecked in practice. But like sometimes when I'm in Montreal, it sucks because I have very technical people in Montreal. TriStar is very technical, but there's not really anyone that's like kicking my ass. You know what I mean? Not in jiu-jitsu. I have a friend named Mustafa. He's an Iranian wrestler. He destroys me. He kills me in wrestling. He kills me,
really?
Brother. So I haven't talked to you about Mustafa yet. No. So Mustafa, I love this guy, amazing guy. I think his name's Saeed, but we always go by Mustafa. He was a 3-time Asian champion in Greco-Roman wrestling, so a 3-time world team member for Iran. He's like 5'9", and he's the strongest man on the planet Earth. And so every week, once a week when I'm back in Montreal, we'll train at like 10 a.m. and it's only wrestling, right? So we'll warm up. We don't wear shoes or anything because he's an MMA fighter and I do jiu-jitsu, so we're not going to wear wrestling shoes. And he just wrecks me. So we'll drill for like 40 minutes and then we'll do like 3 6-minute wrestling matches, with submissions. Like we'll be like, okay, if like we shoot a bad shot, you catch him in the guillotine or kimura. That way, you keep it in like the MMA world and the jiu-jitsu world. And it's like, man, the other day, so he was supposed to have a fight and the guy pulled out. So a week before was like our last true training session. And he was like, okay, I'm going to go hard today, Brandon. I was like, fuck. fuck me. And brother, he took me from like this like long room. This room's probably like 100 yards. Like it's big. TriStar's huge. He took me from like one end of the room to the other with an underhook, and then he blast doubled me on the wall and just beat my ass. And I was just like, fuck, dude. Everyone thinks like I'm the perfect wrestler, and then I like wrestle with world level guys like Mustafa, and I'm just like, fuck me, dude. But it does make like when I'm out here competing or training with other people, I'm like everyone else just feels horrible. Like, but you need that, man. Like, I was so happy when I moved to Montreal when Mustafa was there, because I was like, man, I'm missing this. Like, well, I have Pixley, right? So like whenever I go to Pedigo, I have Pixley to fuck me up. But then, like, when I'm home, I didn't have anyone to do that to me. And then I met Mustafa, and I was just like, yo, this is what I needed. Because I think it's really important to have someone who can just whoop you throughout your whole time. Even, like, some of the best guys who were wrestling. Like, at Penn State, if you talk to David Taylor when he was actually at Penn State before he became a coach at Oklahoma State, David Taylor was winning national titles. Like, he was a 2-time Division I national champ. And he was like, they were like, oh, man, you must be the best guy in the room. And he was like, no, man, Coach Kell kicks my ass every day. He's like, I couldn't even get a takedown on Coach Kell Sanderson, one of the greatest American wrestlers of all time. And I think it's like super cool that like some people would get discouraged by having like a Mustafa whooping you or a Pixley or a Couch whooping you. But for me, I'm like, if I don't have like that, I actually don't like competing, because it's like you're not practicing adversity. And if you don't practice adversity, you're it's shit all. Like when it comes time to actually get into like a dog fight, you don't know what to do there. You don't even know what that means to be there, right? Push-ups aren't enough. The assault bike is not enough. Like you need another grown man holding you down, like telling you can't get up. And that sounds crazy, but like it's very important, especially if you want to compete.
I think it's important for all of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do, because I think it's just stress testing.
Yeah, there we go.
It's just seeing your mental state, you know? You really find out people's personality, I think, on the mats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can see the people that like come in, they do a bit, they get humbled, they leave.
That's it. And that's why like everyone says I'm too humble, but honestly, I don't feel like I am. And I think the reason is because I've trained with these guys. Like, man, like literally training with, just at Pedigo, training with Couch and Pixley, I'm like, I don't know anything. If I wrestle with Pixley, I get smashed. If I try to pass Couch, I get my leg broken. So I'm literally just like in this like constant battle of like, all right, I need to try to make this adjustment, or I have to do this. But I think it's good because it's like I'm consistently put in these situations where people are just much better than me. And then on top of it, there's Heath, who like will like constrain my practices and be like, you're only allowed to do this. So now I'm struggling in this area because Heath is like, you're not allowed to touch your knees when you pass. If you touch your knees, that's a loss. Like you're not allowed to pass unless you get here to like the red zone. And it's like, I think like all those things make big success, even though like I have literally no success in practice, right? Like with the other guys I do, right? Like sometimes I'm allowed to go with like easy, like, but those guys are savages too. Like the crazy thing about PSF, everyone's so freaking good. It's just like compared to like Pixley, Couch, CJ, like some of these other like really top level guys, like there's like more normal people, even though they're still savages. It's nice to go with like normal people again after you roll with them, because you're like, oh yeah, I can do moves. Like you
Mate,
know,
I it's not quite at the same level, but I feel exactly the same with Sam and Frank. Like you go with them two, and they're like beating the fuck out of me, and then when you go with someone else, they're still good, but you're like, oh, this feels lovely. Do you know what I mean? I can actually move. Like they don't shut everything down as soon as I fucking do it. You know?
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's why I think I'm so. I hate saying this because it sounds so weird, but that's why I think like people perceive me as being really humble, is because like I don't put too much. I mean, we've talked about this before. I don't put too much weight on my accomplishments and matches, because I often feel very disappointed in some of my biggest wins and feel very good in some of my biggest losses. But more or less, like, I feel like my confidence comes from practice. And like, it's not that it makes me less confident in getting beat up by these guys. It's just, it's like more like it's a reality check. Like, oh, I need to get better. Like I need to work on guillotine or Darcy escapes if I roll with Pixley, or not getting hit with a freaking slide by every time I touch him. Or with Couch, like, hey, maybe I need to slow down and watch some instructionals and figure out why he's entering K-guard or he's triangling me every 5 fucking seconds, you know? And so I think you can get a false sense of security when you're only training with people that are like better than you, or if you're only training with people who are training people who are worse than you, or if you're training with people who are better than you but nice. I think that can be bad too. Like when you don't have a guy who's like, I'm going to enforce you today. Like, I'm gonna make you see. And that's why I tell people, it's like, it's for me, it's Pixley, it's Couch, it's Mustafa. Like, they're like my three, like, the Trojan horses of like, oh, you guys are so much better than me. You know what I mean? And I'm not ashamed to admit it at all. I'm like, these people are just better than me, you know? And it's like, I don't care. Who cares? They're all my family. They're like brothers to me. So it's like, it's literally like having like three big brothers, like when I'm training with these guys. And then when I compete, I'm never scared in competition because I'm like, it's not going to be any worse than this. Yeah. Like it's like, if I lose, it's not going to be any worse. And sorry, I rambled on about that, but like, that's why I think it's good to have like those partners who are not only better than you, but they're going to like, they're just going to outclass you everywhere, you know? And I've been really lucky lately, especially since I joined PSF, since I started training at TriStar when I'm in Montreal, having like guys where like I can just be like, all right, I know what today's gonna be, and I know I'm not gonna enjoy it. Or even again, having a coach like Heath to be like, you're not allowed to do this. You can only do this. And me just being incredibly uncomfortable. Like for ADCC, he was like, don't go on your knees. Like you cannot pass on your knees. Oh, no like way. Anytime you get on your knees, lost, stand up. And it's like, it was good because I had a really bad habit of when I would get tired to always go to my knees. Yeah. Right. And he was like, I'm naturally athletic, right? Maybe not naturally. I don't know if that's true, right? But I'm athletic because I was always an athlete. So he's like, get the fuck up and like move, like be an athlete, right? Like,
we've seen it today, then like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And that came from Heath.
And Sam's guard is fucking good for you to explode in that duck under. Like, I was like, fuck.
I never did that before Heath. I never did it. Like but it's only because he would be like, hey, you have to do this. And I think Heath's the best coach in the world. Chewy is an amazing coach too. I love Chewy. Chewy's also the best coach in the world. I love that guy. Chewy is, for me though, he's less of a jiu-jitsu coach for me now. I'm more of a mentor. Like he's my business mentor. I talk to this guy pretty much every day. And he's amazing at jiu-jitsu, but one of the coolest parts about Chewy is he knew that I needed to grow, and he didn't take any offense to me like training with JT Torres or training with Heath Pedigo. He's like, go do it, bro. Like, I want you to be better. Like, so that's why it's always complicated.
That says a lot about the man though, doesn't it?
It says a lot about the man.
That's it, innit? It says a lot about the man because most people would be like, no, you don't need to go. You don't need to go and experience it. Stay with me. I can show you everything. I know everything. Right. You know, how many jiu-jitsu coaches are like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're like, they want that success from you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they see you like how good you could be. And then they want to be that guy who like, oh, I'm Brandon Reed's coach, you know, and that's it exclusively. I've taught him everything, and you know, and that's amazing. That's amazing that he's like that.
I'm freaking lucky, man. That's why he's still one of my best friends, and he's my mentor, and I love that guy to death. He's like an uncle to me. Same with Heath. And the coolest part is like those guys are so cool with each other. They're super cool with each other.
They can both corner you together. It's like,
they
awesome.
They don't give a fuck, man. They're both they'll ask me like, hey, is it okay? I'm like, please, man. Also, I always say this. I don't care about the corner. Like when I'm competing, I don't care. For me, the corner is like, it's moral support. So it's nice to see both of them. I really do like, if you guys ever see me compete, like I do my hard warm up and stuff like we talked about. And then I go up to both of my coaches and I slap them hard in the hand. And then like Heath usually will just be like, you're the man, you're the best in the world. So I love that about Heath. And Chewy will be like, man, you got this. You're gonna kill it. And so I like hearing those things like right before I compete. It's like slap hands, get my words of affirmation, go out there, compete. So both of them add like their own little flavor to it. And I love it because it's like, that's like good working relationship between the two. Like they're not freaking tight, you know what I mean? But when we're at competitions, like they're both there, they're both supporting me, and it's super cool. And it's great for Heath too, because Heath has like 1,000 freaking athletes. So like at ADCC trials this year, he's going to have like 30 people competing. So he can't always be in my corner. You know what I mean? So Chewy, I will be his only athlete competing, I think, right? I could be wrong, but for the most part, I should be his only athlete competing. So I always have someone in the corner. But yeah, it's awesome. I'm blessed. Sorry, I rambled again there.
No, that's fine. I think that started because we were asking about you competing at CJI, and you said you wanted the hard training first. So we'll put a pin in that. Yeah. But as a fan, like thinking about all the teams that we're aware of at the moment, who you think's potentially got the best chance of taking that prize?
What are there? There's 10th Planet, there's Atos, there's New Wave, there's B Team.
Yeah. And then you've got the misfits. So you've got obviously Europe, you've got Australasia, Americas, and there's still one team unannounced.
Yeah. If it was me, if I had to say, I don't know who the unannounced team is, but if I had to say it's one, it's got to be B team.
You think so?
It's got to be B team. Bro, I think Victor Hugo, Nicky Rod is a crazy 1-2 punch. I also think Big Dan, Luke Griffith's a crazy 1-2 punch. So I don't know.
I think Panna and Duarte is a better one.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right.
I think that there is like,
that's crazy.
I can't see past it.
Okay, so I have an argument there though, is I don't see, okay, no disrespect to Athletes, guys. You guys are amazing. You're all great. You're better than me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, for someone who gets their fucking feelings hurt, right? We get it. Don't take it personal. This is coming as a fan, right? I don't know who Atos has at 66 kilograms or 77. So I'm like, I don't know who would represent them that's like gonna be real submission hunters and not get submitted by the big boys.
Yeah.
So that's my only weakness is like you have like, at least at B team, you have Ethan Krellinston. No one's going to submit him. It's not going to happen. And then you have Owen Jones, which that dude is a dog, bro. That dude's crazy. Like, he was fucking me up. When we were I was like, yo, this is crazy. It's funny about Owen Jones, man. He was like catching stuff, but he's so nice. He just looks at me. He was like, I got you. And then he was just like, he would just let go. But he was so much better. I was just like, man.
He's so good.
He's so much bigger than I thought he was.
He's so good.
He's so much. I was like, okay, 66 kilograms. He's gonna be like a small guy.
Eating too much Cabo Bobs, mate, in Austin.
Yeah, bro. Plus, that dude's mindset is crazy, bro. So I think B team has such a. Oh wait, no,
he's in Europe. He's in Europe. Yeah.
So Ethan's B team.
So he's on Europe.
Maybe it's Europe, guys.
Europe's not going to win.
Need to see what happens this weekend. First of all, for Europe.
Yeah,
so we need
I just think Europe's amazing up until the big boys. I just don't think we're strong enough at the big boys. Like the big boys side, we're just lacking compared to B team, Atos, New Wave, even Australasia with Declan, and like I just think we're just that little bit off. I think
you're right.
Owen and like Taylor or whoever gets it like before that. Yeah, we're good enough, but
you're right.
Yeah, we're good up to 88, ain't we? And
I just think like we're not going to send out anyone that's going to match Nicky or Penna or Kainan or whatever. It's just we're not going to win. We're not. Well, in my opinion, we're not going to win. You know.
Yeah, I think they should. This is why they should have like a Mark McQueen on the team. They need like a big.
That's what I mean. Just stick big body. Like even if he doesn't submit, like you said, like he just is a fucking nightmare.
He could go into a match with like a Nicky Rod and not get submitted.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's like strong enough and good enough to where he could just be like, your job is to not get submitted. It's 8 minutes. You're a freaking beast, and he is good. He's good as fuck. So it's like. I don't know why he's not even considered, to be quite honest with you. Now that I'm thinking,
it's that submission thing, isn't it? But I think we're not saying we're weak in that thing. I just think we're just not as good as the other teams. So, you know what I mean? Like
it's a high standard, though, right?
That's what I mean. It's like toppy top in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. So B team, who do they have? So 66 is Ethan, 77 is. Joe Chen.
Yeah. Joe Chen. And then
Chris Wojcik.
Yeah.
And then -99 is Nicky Rod. And then +9 is That's a crazy team.
That's a crazy team.
Chris Wojcik is so slept on.
Oh, man. 100%.
Dude, everyone that thinks about this guy. This guy's a killer, bro.
He's a killer.
He just snipes like black belt world champs and people don't even know about it. He just like breaks legs.
Yeah.
So he's a slept on, super scary guy.
Nah, he is. And he's a really nice guy as well.
I might switch it to B team. I might have to say B team has the.
What way are the Rotolos?
I guess they would. Man, I don't even know if they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm having a feeling they're not doing it because we haven't heard.
Yeah, Atos have only announced Penna,
which is weird, right? It's weird because we've known Atos as a team for a while. Like everyone knew Atos was a team, right? Like, but I don't. If they do it, I would guess 77 and 88, right?
Yeah, you'd go. Yeah.
You'd go whoever at 66, 77, 88, -99 Kainan.
That's ridiculous.
That's a crazy team.
Come on, boys. Like, that team's not getting beat. That team's
bringing a wild card for 66 as well.
Yo, that's true.
Put like a battle in there or something.
They're not gonna get beat.
No, but I don't think AOJ and Atos like each other. So I don't think that would happen.
No, maybe not.
I've heard, I could be wrong. You AOJ, Atos people can correct me, but at least I heard that like AOJ was like a split from Atos, right?
Okay,
like AOJ was developed after Atos. Like
I ain't got a clue.
I think that's like, this is not shit talking. This is literally what I think happened. So, but maybe Pato, dude, imagine Pato was on that team. Pato,
For the money he could win, like going into that team, like
Pato could snipe some like minus 99s. I don't think plus 99. I think they get a little too big.
Yeah.
But like, because Pato's not like Owen Jones, who's like actually kind of big. Like Pato's like really small. Like he's like a truly, really small guy. So yeah, I wonder, man, that's crazy. Okay, so if it's that team, then I say Atos. But if it's the teams we know for a fact,
why would it not be? That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Well, it just depends if the Rotolos want to do it or not, I guess.
that's the issue, right? They make so much money, man.
Yeah.
They might literally just be like, fuck this.
Do you know what, though? I think some of it may have been to do with the one contract, but I know Craig just squared that away. So he worked with Tom DeBlas to free up the exclusivity for the one fighters.
Right.
So that will free up, is it Cade?
Okay.
that might be why though they delayed
That's
it because
smart. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Well, it's like the UFC Fight Pass isn't letting people do CJI. I heard that from, again, I can't say names, but like someone doing something with UFC Fight Pass that like on their contract they're not allowed to do CJI. So
Mike.
no, he's definitely not doing CJI.
He's so small though, anyway.
He's so tiny, man, but he's so good. He's so crazy good.
He'd be all right under 66, wouldn't he?
But the problem is it's absolutes.
Yeah, it's when they send out a 99 just to squash him.
Yeah, just to sit there and like, bro, if I had to have a match with Mikey, I'd be like, I'm just gonna sprawl. That's gonna be the whole match. I'm just sprawling. I'm not trying to submit you. I'm gonna sprawl and I'm gonna get you. Because also the thing about CJI rules is you have to be strategic and not try to submit everybody. Like sometimes you have to send a guy out there to be like, hey, that's Nicky Rod. I want you to just stay on your feet and don't get submitted. Like stall. Like don't try to take him down. Get an underhook. Push him around.
Tire him out.
Tire him out.
Get him out of there.
Do not get submitted. Because I just recently did a quintet. My first time doing a quintet thing with TriStar, and it was like all the best Canadian teams. It was a really good quintet. And it was like some of the strategy was like, all right, we need to get this guy off the board, so we don't need to get submitted here. Like don't worry. We're gonna submit the next guy. Like, don't worry. But you need to get this. You need to get this fucker off the board. And so I think that's what people are forgetting about with CJI. It's like, it's not necessarily going to be Nicky Rod versus Felipe Pena. It's not, that could just not happen.
Well, the way they're doing it is like just they're calling them out, with a 10-second row.
I actually hate that. I hate it. Because like, think about it. Like as an athlete, how are you going to warm up?
Yeah, well, you're not.
What the fuck? It's like, all right, so you'll probably know like 5 minutes before you're about to go, right? Because like they'll be like, as one guy's going, you're gonna know who's next, most likely. Like most coaches, most coaches are gonna want their guy to have at least 5 minutes to warm up.
There's only going to be two, one.
I think it'll be predetermined to a certain extent.
I think it should be, right? Like you have to be like, hey, bro, like
this is going to be the order, boys. Like roughly, unless something crazy happens and they chuck out. Like
that's the only thing I don't like about CJI rules. I love that it's 8 minutes, sub only or draw. I hate it. I did not like the 3 5-minute rounds. I don't like the killing of the tempo. Like it's like, oh, you have like the tempo going and then boom, okay, it's done.
I'd like it though.
Really?
Because I think it, literally what we were joking about earlier, it allows you, because right, I've only got 5 minutes.
Right, you can spaz out.
Yeah, you can go hard for 5 because you haven't got a pace.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're right. It was entertaining, but I do like 8 minutes. I like it a lot. Honestly, I think they would be crazy if they just did 6 minutes. Like you have 6 minutes only. You have to take this person out in 6 minutes. Because then it's going to be it's going to be like ADCC trials where it gets crazy.
Yeah, I hope so. But then you could also get someone just hand fighting for 6 minutes, which could then just be the...
Sometimes you got to do that though. Like this is like the worst part about jiu-jitsu is like if it's a team thing and I need to stall you out, or let's say Kynan needs to stall Nicky Rod out. Like Kynan's like, I just cannot get submitted by Nicky Rod. It's like Kynan might just like hand fight for wouldn't you? Like if that's like it's like, all right, I have Nicky Rod. If I get taken down, I'm gonna get submitted for sure. So like, let me just stay up. Like I'm going to fight to the death for 8 minutes to just stay up, because if you're down, you're done. Yeah. Right. Or if so I think it's going to be strategically really crazy. And who do you think the next team is going to be? Because they still maybe AOJ.
Maybe.
I think that's a good team because they have Gutenberg at heavyweight. I don't know if you guys know who Gutenberg is, but he is like a 4-time gi world champion. He was the guy who was supposed to do ADCC, but then I don't know what happened. He's the reason I got into ADCC. So he was an AOJ heavyweight. I guess he got hurt. And then they were like, hey, Brandon, do you want to do ADCC? Gutenberg's out. And I was like, okay. It was like,
sure.
Yeah, that's what I said.
If I have to.
I was like, sure. I think it would be, or like Mika Galval's team too. Because is Mika, who's Mika's team going to be? Maybe Atos.
He might be on the Americas team.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. We didn't think about that.
Because then you still got the Tackets, you got
the Tackets,
you've got Deontay Leon, you've got
no, it's loads, mate. Jimenez, there's loads, mate. It's loads.
Pixley's another good one.
Pixley,
I don't know if they would choose Pixley, but I don't know. You never know. Like,
but why not, mate?
Yeah, you're right. He's a freaking sniper. He's a
Mason Fowler as well.
Oh, bro,
you're gonna put
Mason's
Pat Downey back in there somewhere too.
Pat Downey, that's a good one.
I know Craig said that he's gonna hook the guy up. So maybe he's...
maybe it's a super fight or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I don't know, like... Okay, so if what Greg said is true, he's trying to pick submission guys. I don't know if the wrestlers fit in for the bill. But nothing against Pat Downey. Like I said, the dude's... him and Jason, the best wrestlers in jiu-jitsu, right? But... I just mean like for the rules, the specific rule set and what Greg said, I would assume he would go for like a Mason Fowler, maybe a Pixley, maybe someone, like someone that's going to like, that has proven to submit people, right? So
Mason's so good.
Another underrated guy, right?
Yeah, so underrated.
Like it's,
he's so good.
Mason, man. Dude. I can't believe I forgot about Mason. Damn, put him on the Americas
I've watched that video of him going out about 100 times. The one where what's
Craig?
it called? No, his coach, when he says about him passing, and he's like, that wouldn't work, and then he
Calterra?
Yeah, Calterra. Mate. You know which one I'm on about?
Yeah, I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah,
it's Mason, isn't it? Yeah.
He has great.
Yeah, he was like, that won't work. And he's like, well, watch this. And then he jumps over and puts him to sleep. I've watched that video, honestly, mate, 100 times. Mate. It is the best video.
Team Mason Fowler. Let's put this guy on a CJI team. He needs to be on CJI.
Oh, 100%. How would he not be?
I can't believe I didn't think about that. Yeah.
He's so good.
Let's go Mason Fowler, and if they need a heavyweight, just go Pat Downey, put him in there for the entertainment value.
Just chuck Kit Dale in somewhere as well.
Yeah.
Mate, but how good the Kit look on that Australasia trials,
really
mate? He doesn't even compete hardly.
Can't submit people though, can he?
Mate, but he's a staller. You chuck him in, they're not submitting him.
That's
not,
it, brother.
you are not submitting
brother,
him.
You're not thinking about the long plan.
Yeah,
we need stallers. You need to stall all positional rounds for about 6.
I think he lives in LA, so he might pop up.
I'm telling you, he's got a fight soon, doesn't he? No, Kit.
Is he?
Yeah, after his Australasia thing, he said that he's got a super fight coming up on. So I can't remember what show it was, but yeah, he's got one coming up.
Really?
So he might be getting back on the circuit.
Super fight, Pat Downey, Kit Dell. Let's do it. Let's set it up. That way, both of them get a match. The two of the most funny guys in all of jiu-jitsu.
Man, that would be fun.
The best promo. That would be the best. Pat Downey would probably send him. Kit would find a way to stand up. It would just be like this. It'd be like the Luke Rockhold Downey match. I don't know if Kit would submit Pat. Maybe he would. I don't know. I heard
Kit's jiu-jitsu is really good.
That's what I heard. I've never seen him do jiu-jitsu, and he's such a nice guy. He's really cool.
His jiu-jitsu is like world class, mate. I think people, because he's like, again,
he's funny.
People forget like how good his actual jiu-jitsu is.
He got fourth at ADCC in like 2 years of doing jiu-jitsu, right? He got like
he doesn't drill though. He can't be that good.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a sin if there's no Pat Downey, if there's no Kit Dell, and there's no Mason Fowler. Like, I feel like these are like the three names.
You gotta have Andrew Tackett in there as well, man.
Fuck, there's too many people. There's too many people.
Andrew Tackett has to be there. He has to be. And his brother.
I'll bet.
But the Tacketts have to be.
I bet they're on the Americans team.
They gotta be.
I don't know anything. Everyone thinks I have insider information. Dude, I don't know shit. I'm friends with a lot of people.
Mate, we try to get some out in Austin, but we got a bit, but I think people just you know,
they're probably on like non-disclosure agreements, mate. You probably can't talk about some shit.
That's true. That's probably.
I think we just all want to know though, don't we? We want the teams out ready to go. I think it's gonna come
soon though, right? Because it's like, what's it? August?
Yeah,
August 31st. So that'd be good. Maybe I'll go out and watch because I'm like, why not? And there's Jiu-Jitsu Con, right? So maybe I compete in IBJJF again. My first brown belt tournament.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop.
Little brown belt action. Big goals, a Jiu-Jitsu con champion, ultra heavyweight. I think it might be gi only. So throw on the gi. I don't know. It's like if I'm gonna go out to watch, I might as well compete too. Like even if I had to throw on the gi, I'd be like, oh, why not? I'm coming to. It's so expensive, man. Even from Canada, it's so damn expensive. Like
the flights?
Yeah, it's the flights. You're staying there in an Airbnb because it's like if you stay in a hotel, now you're spending hundreds of dollars a day just to eat, especially Canadian because of like the transfer, like the You guys get the good benefits of going to America, right? Like you guys have, but us in Canada, we get like the worst one. So like if I'm gonna go watch CJI, brother, I better make it worth it because it's expensive.
Oh, really?
Bro, I think in Canada right now, $1 is like 140 Canadian. So that is a lot. Meaning we're 60 cents to every dollar.
Yeah, we're 70p to the dollar to the US.
Yeah, so if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking find something to do, bro. Film some content, like figure something out. I train with Andy Varela. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
That's another dude who's just a fun guy to watch.
And he's fucking good again. He's really good, isn't he?
Good again. I was so mad he didn't get put on the 10th Planet team. We didn't even talk about the 10th Planet team. There's Kyle Bame, PJ Barch, and then I think Richie Martinez.
And Gio, I think, as well. Gio at 66, I think.
And then Alan Sanchez. He's like the EBI champion. I don't watch EBI that much because I find it boring. But it's really good. Like those guys are super amazing. And I think that's an underrated team because all of those guys are very hard to submit. They're very hard. And they can all submit people, but they're not as popular, man.
Yeah, but they're not. I don't know.
They're not the same, right?
They're not. It's like, you know.
I think they're underrated, man.
I don't know.
I think I could see PJ running through a couple people on a different team.
PJ's great. I'm not like PJ is great. He's very, very
also,
good.
Kyle Bame.
Yeah, Kyle Bame's great.
Fucking great, bro. He has like one of the highest submission rates, and he's been a black belt for like 10 years. He's just kind of crazy, but he's a nice guy in person too, and he's just great. Actually, one of my very first jiu-jitsu matches ever was with Kyle Bame. Yeah, it was horrible. I had him. I did my first ADCC trials in 2021, and Chewy was just like, "Fuck it, just do it." And then this was like right after I got sniped by Pixley, so I was like, "Whatever, we can't get any worse than 10 seconds." And then I beat up some turd in the first round of ADCC trials, and like the guy was just terrible, right? And I know he was terrible because at the time I'm not great now, but like then I was horrible. I didn't know anything. But then I had Kyle Bame, and I tried to body lock pass him because back then I didn't know anything. So I was just like, okay, let's just lock my hands around the guy and try to do body locks. Like we were drilling a lot of body lock passing, and he wrestles up on me and like gets in a front headlock and he spins behind, and I start spazzing out, and I try to do like a Granby, like a standing Granby, and he like follows me midair and he chokes me as I'm falling down. And this match lasts all about like a minute, and I'm just like, fuck, this is horrible. I had no idea. I genuinely had no idea who he was. He was the nicest guy ever. He talked to me after. He was very cool. He's had some weird public issues, you know? But yeah, whatever. But anyways, point is, I think Kyle Bame he won trials that year too. He beat Dan in the ADCC trials finals. And I think he's won trials like 3 or 4 times, Kyle Bame. And he's beat some pretty good people. He had a really close match with Craig. He had 2 really close matches with Craig. He had a pretty good match with Nicky Rod until he got Nicky Rodded. You know?
Mate, it's so funny when we were out there, like people just don't want to roll with him. Like just because of how physical and how big and how good he's got. Like just in the room, like you can just feel it. Like Demon's having to like basically force people who are really fucking good to go over and roll with him. They're like, right, Demon's like, right, it's your turn. And they're like, you can see they're like, fuck's sake, okay. Like I'm just about to get killed now, you know what I mean? And
I don't blame them. Do you blame them, bro?
I literally don't blame them, but it must be like, for him, it must be so weird, like watching everyone like trudge over to you like, right, my time to die.
but this is where it's great. Victor's in training with him now.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? He must, I think when we had Dima on the podcast, we were talking
it can
about
only
this.
be a positive.
Yeah, and Dima was joking, saying how he had to smooch people in the gym before he asked them to roll with Nicky Rod. And then he said when the question or the discussion came up with Nicky about having Victor in the team, Nicky was like, oh shit, does that mean we get to train together? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, fuck, let's do it. Like, he was like, so up for it. Yeah.
It's super smart. He's thinking the same thing, right?
Shanji Ribeiro was there, like coming in training as well.
Bro, imagine you could train with the GOAT Shanji.
Mate, he was there when we were there. Like, he's rocking in.
People forget about Shanji. He was that guy back in the day, but people forget. They forget because it's like that's like the sad truth about athletics, right? It brings us back to like the point about being like a really good coach. Is like, even if you coach these really amazing athletes who do things like win ADCC in great ways, like Shanji, it's like in 10 years there's gonna be the next guy.
Yeah, people have got very short memories, didn't they?
Yeah, of course they have. Yeah, but he's still doing it, mate. You know what I mean? Like,
he's still amazing.
I love that. Like, I can't remember, I think exact statistic, but how long it took for him to get his guard, or he never got his guard passed in like official competition. I was like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
How does that happen? How do you get to that level and no one can pass your guard?
Well, he just beat Richie, who's number one, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. I forgot
He
about that.
moored him as well. He moored him, mate.
He hit him with a good old classic Kimura.
The best position.
Try to get me with that, didn't you,
I tried to
bastard?
get you it. Look, the thing is, it's funny because after I saw Shanji hit that Kimura, I was like, I need to just start Kimuraing people. Because I had kind of gotten away from it because I really started to fall in love with like heel hooks and guillotines, which sounds funny because they're two completely different things. So I was like spamming heel hooks and guillotines, right? And then I saw that and I was like, fuck, dude, there's a lot of Kimuras that I'm just not hitting because I'm just trying to do these two things. And so now, like in practice, I've been working on two things, which is like guard retention with like the self-framing stuff, and then Kimuras, which is usually when I'm training, I'm trying to do like, it'll be like for a couple months, like I'm trying to do like these things. I'll add little things and stuff like coaches tell me to do, but it'll be like submission-wise, I'll usually have like one or two things, and then right now, because I'm in a bit of an off season and I literally don't have any competitions coming up, I'm just fucking playing guard as much as possible, dude. Like, I think the best time to like work on like your weaknesses is when you're not planning for a competition.
For sure.
I don't think it's quite that good to do that when you're preparing for a comp, like, because it's like you should be sharp on like what you're really good at. But right now, like when I'm not competing, I'm just like, I'm doing so much guard. I'm watching so much sub meta. It's the only, like, for me, it's like for guard, it's the accent, man. It's the accent. When us Americans, when we hear these British or Australian accents, we're focused, right? We get really, really focused. And so Lachlan, he's a great coach and, or a great instructor, rather. He's not my coach. He's an instructor. I really love watching sub meta. And even like when I started doing like the instructional stuff, I think we talked about this before, maybe we didn't, but like I watched his instructionals before I ever made my own instructionals. And then I was like, I want my instructionals to be like his. So like when people watch my instructionals, they're like, oh, you like all my instructionals are like individual videos. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched the meta, but he has it where it's kind of like, his instructionals are like playlists of videos. So it's not like 1 3-hour video. He's like, all right, it's like a playlist of 20 videos that are all like 3 to 10 minutes. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, and they're all like listed like Netflix episodes. So it's like, okay, I can watch.
It's like chapters, isn't it, on YouTube?
Yeah, it's chapters, bro. So when I decided to start doing instructionals myself, I was like, I want to do it just like him.
That's really clever. That's really clever because, you know, sometimes when I get watching a BJJ Fanatics, I'm like, start it, and I'll look at the time. How long is it? It's 3 hours. I'm like, oh fuck. Fast forward. Right, I know this bit a little bit. All right. Yeah, I need this entry at this point that I'm getting stuck with, and then I'm like fucking around for 20 minutes trying to find it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so that's why I love, like, it's very easy to watch some meta, and it's very like I said, gotta love the accents, man. Yeah, you guys don't. I don't know if you guys quite get the same spell in the opposite way. Like if you guys hear, you guys are both English, right?
We are.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Look, I always get
I don't
confused.
look it, but yeah.
Yeah. I always get confused because like some people. Like I'm not sure if some people are Australian or English because sometimes like there's like lots of Australians in England, I think, right? And so like their accents start to like change a little bit. So I'm like, what the fuck are you? You know what I mean? So it's like those like Australian English, that little mix.
It's a twang, mate.
And then there, yeah.
We've been going for about 2 hours.
Yeah, sorry.
Before we go though, I'm really bad at this, so I'm gonna give some gifts before you go because
Amazing.
I keep meaning to, and I always forget what gifts. So we have.
Oh man, sticky grips.
Sticky grips tape.
I love some sticky grips.
So he was telling me earlier that
My hands.
when he wrestles, even NoGi having tape on his hands, he feels bad.
I feel so confident when I have some tape on my hands. I'm gonna wear this tomorrow at the seminar. Sticky grips.
You also tried the grappler soap today.
Best soap out there.
There you go.
I smelled super fresh.
Are we basically sellouts now, have we?
There's some
The best soap in the world.
And for your weak ankles,
Oh, bro, they're so bad.
What we got here? Oh, is it tallow balm?
this is some balm designed with you in mind.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna wear this tomorrow too. Beast bomb.
Yeah,
What
smell
else
it.
can we give him?
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Although I should also say, the next time you do a seminar tour, you should sign up to Matador app.
Matador app.
That's the Tinder of seminars, mate.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've heard of the Matador app. I'm going to start sliding on the Matador app. Is it good?
It's actually amazing.
It's really cool. It's basically, if you sign up as an athlete, you have a profile and basically people who are members on there will swipe that they want a seminar with you, and it builds up a heat map for you, a global heat map where you can go, oh, okay, so here in the UK, there in the UK, there in Europe, there's an interest in me running a seminar.
Okay.
And then you can reach out to the people through it, it sets you up.
Yeah, it's actually like a genius idea. I think if everyone eventually signs up, it's going to be so easy for you and us, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Instead of like putting it on Instagram and then hoping that like someone
you
reaches
know,
out
you
to
look and you go, oh, look, like in fucking Czechoslovakia, I got a big interest there.
Yeah, but the other thing as well is you basically pay through the app, so you've got visibility of how many people have actually signed up and paid for it. So as an athlete, you can go, actually, that's looking a bit flat. I might can it, or there's like loads of people. There's loads of cash there waiting for me.
It's true, right? It's hard sometimes with seminars. Like you'll go to a seminar and you'll be like, this isn't. They didn't promote this very well. Yeah. So maybe the Matador app is.
It's so hit and miss with seminars, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can imagine, yeah.
It's weird. I've had seminars that have like, I think my biggest seminar ever had like 75 people. And then like, I've had seminars with like 70 people, with like 50, 40. And then I've had seminars with like 10 people, all in like the same 3 weeks. Like, it's crazy. Like with seminars, how there's even with some of my biggest seminars, the students don't even know who I am. So it's crazy that I found like with seminars, it really is important to have for students to have really good, our coaches to have really good relationship with their students, because then people tend to
They just do it because their coaches is
they'll take the recommendation
of their coach.
That's it. It's like you want to go,
your coach is like, you go because it'll be good for you, and they're like, oh, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've had so many people be like, I have no idea who you are, but thanks for the seminar.
That was great.
Yeah, and I'm like, very humbling. Yeah,
right,
sweet. Well, thank you for all the gifts. I'm gonna be smelling good and feeling very, very safe with my sticky grips.
No worries, man. Thank you for coming to see us, mate. It was awesome to meet you in person finally.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah.